Hi, everyone. Woo, hi. I'm sorry you're about to sleep. It's really late, I know. Oh my gosh, it's Sunday too. Do you guys have school tomorrow? No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, good that you're out of school. To be fair, I've had classes that I've streamed really, really late into the night where I had to be up early. And I streamed late for you guys. Woo! Yes! And I missed the class. Woo! I don't need it. Yeah, it's a fair trade, you know? Boom. Hey! You can be up at 6. In my defense, that's not my fault you didn't get a full 8 hours, because I went live now. You should have been asleep 2 hours ago. I love my little chocolate-shaped hearts. Oh. Heart-shaped chocolates. Universal was so much fun. I went with Hannah and Amethyst. Hannah and I hung out actually all weekend. Beep beep bo beep bo beep 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 bo. So it's been fun. It's been a fun little weekend. Woo! Beep bo beep bo beep 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 bo. Yeah, beep boop beep. It's KK Slider, you know? Oh, this is... It's green. This is Hannah's. So at Universal, we met there. And I didn't realize how cold it was outside. So I just was wearing jeans and like a tank top. Because I'm used to going to theme parks and it being like hot. But I was like, it's a little chilly, so I'll put on jeans. And it was freezing. It was like 40, 60 degrees. So luckily she had this hoodie in her car. And she let me borrow it. And I still am borrowing it. I'll give it back once I wash it. Oh my gosh. I don't know how many stories. I'll try to explain everything that happened at Universal. But when we first got there, there was this really, like, sick child in line behind us. Like, coughing and sneezing and hacking all over themselves. Like, poor kiddo. What are the parents doing? Bringing them to a theme park. No, I made sure to keep my distance from this child. And I think actually seeing the sick hacking child caused me to be more aware of what I'm touching and stuff. Because I was sanitizing my hands, staying away, not touching any handlebars or anything. Being really safe. No, the poor child, for real. Because, like, okay, I get it that the parents probably spent a lot of money to be at Universal. And I don't know what their plans are. I don't know what they're doing. What I do know is that that kid's not having a good time. You're putting everyone else in danger of being sick. They were gonna sit behind us in the ride, and in the way of not to get sick, I asked an employee if they could. I was like, "Excuse me, that child is coughing and sneezing. Can we wait for a different cart, please?" And they let us wait, but. No, honestly, listen, that kid's not having a good time. They looked miserable. They're at a theme park. You're getting everyone else sick. I get it that tickets are... Okay, you're spending, like, money to be there and stuff. But, like... But, like, you can get refunds. Like, honestly, I've gotten refunds on tickets. The way that, you can get refunds on tickets. The customer service at Universal is so good. I'm sure, like, if you say your complaint or something, like, oh, listen, like, my kid got really sick, can I get, like, a refund and come back another day? I'm sure they'd allow that. I got a refund for a ticket, and, I used that refunded ticket over a year after I got it. No, for real, Liz. Thank you, Julia, for the 2 years. Holy. Oh my gosh, 2 years? What? Wow. That's like, you've really been here. Oh my gosh, 2 years? That actually, like, I don't know. That's like crazy to think about. Because I've been streaming, I guess, for like 4 years now. Like 3.5. So the fact that 2 whole years that you've been subbed, because that might not even be in a row, you know? That's crazy. That's just another Julia. Woo! And thank you, Star Princess, for the Twitch Prime. I am live. I love being live, alive. Chat. I'm getting an IRL backpack. I'm buying one. I don't care. I think I'm gonna buy one. Probably next month I'll have one. I think I'm gonna build one. I figured out... Hold on, I'm eating. I figured out how to get it for cheaper. So I mean, I guess it's not too much cheaper. But it's a little bit more expensive than, how much I got from the Minecraft event. So I'm just thinking that Minecraft event funded the IRL backpack. And so I just broke, you know what? It's fine. So basically, the way that I bought it, or am going to buy it, is, I found, like, a bundle of something for like, a good price. And then, I'm gonna just use an old camera I already have. It's a pretty good camera, and I think it should be fine. Because I already have a nice camera and a nice, like, camera mic. And if you don't buy it as a bundle, like, from the IRL backpack thing, I think it is cheaper. It is, like, there's a monthly fee, too, so it's still gonna be pretty expensive. And I'm gonna have to, like, be plugging everything in together. But I built a couple PCs back in my day, so I think I'll be fine. I'm so excited. I can't wait to do some IRL streams. I don't know what my first stream will be, but I have, like, a whole list of a bunch of streams, and I'm so excited. It's, like, a new season, a new Sylvie season, a new chapter, a new era. I'm really, really excited for it, though, because I feel like we need something new. Like, I love grinding video games, and I feel like, honestly, that's who I am as a person, is a video game participant, a gamer, a video game player, if you will, a grinder, a video game grinder. Oh, I mean, yeah. But also, I am a streamer, and if I'm doing IRL things, you know, in real life actions, like, what if I can just stream everything I'm doing? It'll make me enjoy everything so much more. I can start, like, being a real person. Because I was, like, really enjoying my little trapeze era, and I really only did it once because I just could not get out of the house. So, if I start streaming everything that I'm doing, I'll leave the house more often, more content, streaming, fun, and then we can capture everything, and then it'll be awesome. Yeah, sure. Shopping streams, I don't know. I mean, I think I would... The thing about that is, how do I do credit card? Like, how do I buy stuff? Like, oh, here's my credit card, and you guys, like, can read my credit card? Do they put, like, tape over it? How does that work? How do you buy stuff on stream? Point the camera away. Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. Apple Pay? Apple Pay still has... Oh, I guess it'll have your... It has your... Whatever. Cash? I'm not gonna carry around cash. Who do you think I am? Someone that wants to get robbed? Nuh-uh. Hey, Nico. Just don't show it. That's true. Maybe I could hire someone to hold the camera. Like a friend. I don't know. Also, I was thinking, like, while I was at Universal with Hannah and Amethyst, I was thinking, like, how I would be able to stream everything. And at Universal, a lot of the rides are, you can't bring, like, anything on it. Like, the metal detectors. Like, the Mummy and the Hulk, and the Rocket roller coaster. Those are all... Does he like the cat? Can you see him? Oh, you can't. He's right there. Sorry it's so messy in here. Whatever. Oh my gosh! I got my painting. Wait. Okay, listen. I did want to show you guys the artist because there was a painting that I wanted to buy and I was gonna like wait to buy it. But at this point, honestly, I think that I'm not gonna buy it anymore and I'm happy with what I'm gonna have and I'm gonna stick to prints and I'm happy with this painting. So I'll show you guys and I'll show you guys the artist. I love her art. Oh my gosh, I've been following her on TikTok for literal years. Yes, this is my spoil. I've been spoiling myself, okay? So here's the prints I got. I don't think I ordered this one, but I think she still gave it to me. Maybe I did and I forgot. But this one is, I think, my favorite print that I got. So cute, bunny. And then there's little cookies with little mice. And then there's another bunny with a rose. This is very Hannah. And then, I don't know what to do. Okay. And then this is the physical painting, an original piece. Oh, I'm leaking it. Okay. Are you kidding me? Get banned. Oh, are you kidding me? Literally so cute. This is the artist's name. I think you can find them on TikTok. But yeah, they have an Etsy. And they have a bunch of paintings like this. Literally so soft and cute. They have like a lot of, I like the cow ones that they have. They have a lot of really cute cow ones. They have clearly have a lot of really cute bunnies and stuff. And I think they kind of blew up on TikTok around the time that, I don't know if you guys remember seeing it, if it was just my For You page, but do you guys remember the little ghost paintings? Like the little ghosts that were really cute on like the swings and like walking on the street together? That's the same artist. I don't know if those were on your For You page, but they were all over mine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the artist. And I have been following her for so long because I love her art. I'm pretty sure it's the same one. Yeah, no, it's the same one. But yeah, and oh my gosh, it's so cute. She has so many really cute pieces. And I love it. I love, like, I don't know. It's really, like, I feel like it's pretty unique. It's, like, soft and, like, very round and really cute. It's really cute and it's so good and I love it. And I'm so happy that I finally got a piece. I've been wanting it for so long. So I'm really happy. Woo! They're pretty expensive, the actual originals, but obviously it makes sense. I mean, it's pretty big. And that was the original one and that was a pretty good deal. That one was on sale. I don't know, it was cheaper than the other ones of its size. That's why I finally caved and bought it. But yeah, definitely treating myself. How much was it? I think in total, I spent a little over $200. Maybe like $250 plus shipping. It's worth it. I'm happy. I've been wanting it for a really, really long time. That's fine. Okay. No, okay, that's what I was thinking. Is because usually the ones her size sell for like $300 themselves. So the fact that it was like, I think that one was like $180. So that's why I bought it, because it was like way cheaper than how much she usually sells them for. She has one for $1,000. Okay, listen, I don't have that kind of money to be spending thousands on some art pieces, guys. What the heck? Not yet. Not until my backpack streamer era, because that backpack that I'm buying is like $1,000. Okay, thank you, Chrisma, for the Twitch Prime. It's a business expense. It's an investment. Honestly, I have never regretted buying something from a small, like, from an artist. Small business. Do you know what I mean? Like, everything that I've ever bought from, like, an artist, I have always loved so much. $1,000 for art, $1,000 for a back. Well, to be fair, I was not happy about the $1,000 for the backpack, but it's only because the backpack is a business expense. Like, the reason why I'm gonna buy the backpack is because I think that I can make money off of having the backpack. But having an art piece, although it's really pretty and I love it, like, I can't do anything with it. I can only look at it. It's definitely more of a, like, although, like, a backpack is a luxury, like, the, okay, it's not a backpack. It's a streaming backpack. It's like a computer, basically, that, I'm calling it a backpack because that's what it's called, but it's basically a computer that you can, use when you're not home. It's like buying a phone, but it's like buying a computer, basically. But yeah, IRL streaming. Oh my gosh, I was so scared that they were gonna eat my painting. So that's why it kind of feels less expensive, because, I feel like I'm gonna be making money. I'm gonna be streaming more. I don't have the backpack yet. I haven't bought it. Because $1,000 is expensive, guys. I'm waiting. Don't Twitch loan them out? I think that they loan them out. I think that, I mean, Twitch doesn't, but, I think that the IRL backpack companies sometimes will, like, lend them out at TwitchCon to, like, promote them and stuff. But, I tried to look into trying to get one, like, to borrow or something, and it doesn't really look like that's a possibility. So, I am getting it for, like, a lot cheaper than if you were just to buy it straight from the website, because I'm gonna try to build it myself. But, you know. I'm not buying a, I would not recommend buying bag for $1,000. Yeah, it's not, okay, it's the backpack that I'm putting, okay, the backpack that I'm putting the backpack in, like the backpack, computer backpack components, is $20. Like, it's, you know what I mean? I don't know how I'm explaining this, but basically, the IRL backpack is a box that you can plug, like, modems into, a camera into, a battery into, and then you can stream on the go. And then I'm putting that into a $20 backpack. You know what I mean? That makes sense? I don't know. Anyway, as soon as I can afford $1,000 art, I will be buying all of this woman's art pieces instantly. Because she does have an artwork that's worth $1,000. But I don't have $1,000 for painting kind of money right now. Yeah, $1,000 box. You got it. If you're gonna buy something expensive and get return from it, it's worth the expense. Yeah, right? I mean, that's like a business expense. That's what makes a business expense a business expense. What's your favorite snack? Trader Joe's Takis. I love them with all my heart. Hi, kitten. But I didn't want to make it seem like I was just buying this random thing and then trying to say that, because the way I said it, it definitely did sound like I was like, I'm not spending a bunch of money on art, but I'm buying a backpack. You know what I mean? So don't think that. I'm not crazy. Trader Joe's Takis are better than regular Takis. I've been saying this. They're so good. They have more flavor. They're like zesty, and honestly, they have less powder on them, and I think that's better. Is it a cute backpack at least? No. It's not cute. It's not. It's useful. It's not cute at all. Oops. I like regular Takis. I think regular Takis are good. I just prefer Trader Joe's Takis. Trader Joe's is like it's like a grocery store that it's like a hipstery grocery store. Like it's a grocery store, but everything is like made by Trader Joe's, I'm pretty sure. So and they try to make everything like relatively healthy. Like I think most things are organic, and they don't use like artificial dyes or anything. And it's pretty good, and it's actually like relatively affordable considering that it's like they try to be like healthier and stuff. Bed Wars today. I'm sorry, I've never played Bed Wars on stream before, I don't think. We're not in like the last 2 years. So probably not, I'm sorry. I didn't know Trader Joe's policy was to compliment the customer, something that you're buying. So I always thought that I was buying the best stuff every time I go, because the employees were gassing me up. Yeah, they do that. But it's kind of fun. It's like, I don't mind it. So what if they're nice to me? Good. Amethyst works at Trader Joe's. She's the one that put me on the Trader Joe's Takis. Speedrun. Honestly, I don't know how much Minecraft I'm into right now. I think I want to wait until after my Stardew era, which I'm in right now with Hannah. And then I would want to start playing Minecraft with Hannah, probably. Like maybe start a world with someone. I think that'd be fun. Get Hannah into like actual like grindy Minecraft. Like the thing about Minecraft is that it can be a competitive game. Like it can be in the same vibe of like Minecraft or like the Bed Wars is like similar to like how it feels to play like Valorant or something, like competitive and like skillful. Or you can play the fun grindiness of it and play it like how you play Stardew or Animal Crossing or like the Cozy Gamer. Or you can play it a million different ways. But Hannah has only ever played it the competitive way. And I've noticed that she's been interested in really enjoying Stardew. So I think that Hannah will enjoy it if she starts playing Minecraft in the Cozy Gamer Stardew Survival. Yeah, a survival demon. I really do think so. I really do think so. Listen, we put her on shaders and she'll be set. Thoughts on joining Dream SMP? I wish. I don't know why. I would be so good making little Minecraft houses. I love survival Minecraft. I love like SMBs in general. I think they're so fun. Like whenever I first started playing Minecraft, I used to like go on random forums and find like survival worlds that were like open. and I would just join like random SMPs, and it was so much fun. That was like my favorite thing ever. I wish I could find the people because I used to like be a part of so many SMPs, and I used to watch like SMPs on YouTube, and I would like force them to like make little like communities and economies. Like I would make a million shops. I was really into like, I don't even want to say it, but I was really into some SMPs. And I love the idea of like making a little shop in Minecraft and having people like buy stuff for your shop. So whenever I would play these random SMPs, I would build like 5 different like businesses, and they would all be like empty because I had no resources because I was so busy building the businesses that I didn't have anything to sell at the businesses. So it was kind of like, I don't know, I was a kid. I was a kiddo. But I think that's fun. And I think Hannah would, I like doing a little bit of that. I think Hannah would also enjoy some Minecraft the way that Stardew is played. I've been on SMPs. I was on SMP Earth. And I had my little GG SMP, which was full of a bunch of girls. But, GG SMP was really fun at first. And I feel like it brought a lot of, like, girl streamers together that didn't really stream before. Together. That was a really fun thing. But it, like, kind of died. Like, everyone stopped playing it after a while, except for me. Like, after a while, I was the only person to play it. It was basically a single-player world with ruins of previous players. That tends to happen. Yeah, nobody's got the grind set like I do. I think it was just a bad time though, because I feel like the people that would have grinded were on like the Dream SMP. So they were busy. Which is fair. Literally me and my friend's realm right now. Yeah, actually. Minecraft with viewers. I wanted to do what was it? A sub server, but there's like way too much that goes into that, and having to buy a sub server for like a lot of like however many people that I would want to play at a time. Like, because if I would stream on the sub server, I'm assuming a lot of people who are subs would want to play while I'm streaming, and then being able to pay for that every month, even when like most of the time I'm not streaming on it, so there's like probably really not really any people playing on it. It'd be like a little too expensive but you know. Yeah, that's backpack money. Yeah, it is backpack money. That money went to the backpack. Sorry, it's gone. I don't have it anymore. Well, I do because I haven't bought the backpack, but it's in the backpack fund. Hi, Wisher Wisher. I don't know. I'm excited for the future of the streams when I have my backpack. Yay! I feel like people are thinking that I'm just buying like a normal school backpack. Even, I have been talking about this IRL backpack for so long. Like, when I first brought it up to Piso, I was like, ugh, Piso, I want an IRL backpack. And he was like, really, Sylvie? Like, how chronically online are you? It's just a backpack. Like, what games are you playing that there's a backpack in it? You can get a backpack. It's not called an IRL backpack. But he didn't understand that I was talking about the streaming, mobile streaming. Yeah, you get it now since I've talked about it so much. Yeah, a vlog stream. I'm not a big Disney person, but I definitely would buy a annual pass just to stream there. Probably. Because that just smells like a lot of content. I think those would be some really good streams. And also, oops. I'm charging my mouse because it's dead. Amusement park streaming is so difficult. Well, IRL streaming in general is really difficult, and that's why you need a backpack so that it doesn't cut out. Because supposedly, it's supposed to, like, make it cut out less. So, but I also have seen XQC stream with a backpack, and it still kind of cuts out and lags a little bit, but, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I hope it's good. I'll try my best to make it as good as possible. I love Animal Kingdom's really fun, but yeah, I think that Disney would be a good place to stream because there's so many parks, there's so much stuff to do, and the rides, at Disney, I feel like I could take an IRL backpack on them compared to Universal, where I could not. Or stuff like that, I don't know. I don't know. This is still, I haven't bought it yet. This is in the talks, but I've, like, committed myself. Like, I'm doing it. Like, we're gonna be having... I'm gonna be an IRL streamer. It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, Disney parks have a lot more entertainment than just rides, which is nice. For you, it's nice. For me, I love the Velocicoaster, and I want to go fast on a roller coaster. Do you think people will swarm you? That's what I'd be worried about. I think not. I think, maybe if I streamed at, like, TwitchCon, it'd be a problem. But, like, when Hannah and I went to Universal, we didn't get recognized at all. You know, like, it's not, we're not crazy. Boom. Or maybe, like, one person. But, like, I don't think it'd be the biggest, I don't think it'd be the craziest thing. I'm sure there'll be, like, IRL stream snipers, but even like XQC streams, like I just was watching a while ago, he was streaming like Venice Beach, and yeah, there were stream snipers, but he wasn't getting like swarmed with people, so I don't think it'd be crazy. What's a stream sniper? Oh, okay, a little Twitch information for you. So a stream sniper is when someone's watching someone who's streaming, and then they try, it's usually used in video games, so they try to, like, get, like, queued into the same game as the person, or if they're IRL streaming, they try to, like, find the person's location, it's kind of like stalking, and then go into the person and then be on their stream. In video games, a lot of the time, it's when people are, like, watching someone streaming, and then they'll see that they're streaming, try to be in the same queue as them, try to get in their game, and then cheat by watching the stream and, like, getting information, like getting their comms, seeing where they are. Yeah, delays to prevent it, but I don't think it'd be terrible. I think the thing is about IRL streaming is I probably just won't be alone when I'm IRL streaming. Especially as a girl, I think it might be kind of dangerous. So I'll probably just always be with people, which would be safer. Bum, 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 bum. Have I been stream sniped? In video games I have been. Usually it's by like, I mean I have been stream sniped in video games, but that's it. Obviously, I haven't IRL streamed, so not in real life. Like IRL, yeah. I don't know. I guess it kind of is kind of stocky-ish. But for the most part, anytime I've ever seen anyone get, like, being stream sniped, and, like, there's a stream sniper, usually the chat is, like, kind of clowning on them. Anyway, so... Would you make videos out of your IRL content? That's the goal. I probably should be making videos out of my other content too, but I haven't been doing a good job about that. Have I stream sniped anyone? No. No, I don't think so. I honestly don't think that IRL streaming will be as, like, stream snipey as you guys are expecting. First of all, like, for the most part, I'm really thankful that a lot of my viewers are, like, pretty respectful, and a lot of you guys are, like, girlies. And you got a nice little head on your shoulders. You know what I mean? Like, and you know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, I feel like for the most part, I don't know. I'm really grateful that you guys are, at least my chat is mostly girlies. Yeah, the girly pops. Like, actually, like, I was thinking about that. I'm, like, so, I don't know. It's just, like, so nice. I was thinking about that today, actually. I was playing Valorant, and, like, actually, shout out to you guys. Because, like, you have no idea how much, like, you've kind of, like, affected me as, like, a person. Like, I was playing Valorant, and I kind of forgot how toxic it can be sometimes. And I used to, like, play toxic video games all the time with, like, men and stuff. And I always had the mindset, like, well, like, I just have to, like, learn to deal with it. Like, oh, they say this stuff? Yep, I just have to deal with that, you know? Get some thick skin, whatever. But, like, I don't know. It's, like, so much better to have you guys be nice and not, like, weirdly sexual. I don't know. I take you guys for granted sometimes. Like, I actually didn't know how much, like, I've changed. Oh, stop. Okay, stop. No, but for real. Okay, so I was playing a game, and, it was Valorant, and I'll say exactly what happened that made me think, damn, I like my community. But there was this guy, and he was, like, yelling at this one guy. They were arguing, like, the entire time, bickering, and the whole time, just, like, shut the fuck up. Like, chill out. Like, we're in gold. Like, honestly, chill. You know what I mean? But, he said something like, oh, bro, you're on your period. And then me, on my period, I went, I'm on my period, and I'm not whining like a bitch. And he goes, ugh, I didn't even know that. And then another guy went, I'm gonna jerk off to that later. And I went, damn. I'm really grateful that they're not in my chat all the time. Like, I was like, damn. Like, yeah, no, actually, I'm like, damn, I'm so grateful that I don't have a chat that just says stuff like that to me. Do you know what I mean? And honestly, like, I thought, dang. What? I wish I clipped it. I tried to shadow play it and my shadow play was off. No, but actually, like, they're just being weird and gross. Like, obviously, I don't think he's gonna actually jerk off to that later. But, like, the fact that I don't have to deal with that in a Twitch chat, that's rare. Like, usually it's mostly men. I don't know. And I have, like, I used to, like, hear that shit when I was young, like, child, you know, playing my CSGO or whatever. I would hear the nastiest shit. And I would just, like, deal with it, be like, oh, well, I guess I have to get thick skin. Because they would always say, like, if you, like, were upset about it, they'd be like, whatever. You get thicker skin. And so I would be like, okay. Yep, this is how it's supposed to be. But, like, obviously not. You guys aren't weird. You guys are so nice and sweet. And we have a little fun time together. I'm gonna get, like, sappy. Give me a second. I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, stop. Guys, stop. Stop. Thanks for the Twitch Prime, Princess Bubba. Okay, stop. You guys are embarrassing me. You guys are embarrassing me. Okay, guys, stop. Okay. But thanks for not being weird. Okay. This is Tesla. The bare minimum? Yeah, but like, I don't know. In the online world, it's not like this. Okay, stop. Okay. Do you want to watch some videos or something? Yes, okay. Okay, but like, I know you guys are saying the bare minimum, more garden ones. Yeah, we can watch some garden videos. But like, honestly, I don't know. This stuff I heard when I was like a young little gamer. Okay, stop! You guys are making me sad. Okay, stop doing like, start weird champing. Start weird champing me. Weird champ! No more hearts! Weird champ! Weird champ only. Yes! Weird champ. Thanks, Kimberly. Please. Please weird champ me. Thank you. I'm not kidding. I'm serious. Weird champ. I'm being so serious. Please. Do you guys want to stream or not? Okay. Whatever. Fine. We're watching some videos. Okay, whatever. I'm opening up YouTube. Yeah, it's react time. Let me find some garden. Oh wait, actually? Yeah, we're doing some React Sandy right now. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, I think I've seen that video. Breaking. I saw some clips on TikTok. My makeup's not good now. Oh, let's watch this video. I have not seen Lifesteal SMP. I'm adding a bunch of videos that are in my recommendations. Bum 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 bum. Dance Moms, honestly, the copyright strike has been lifted. But maybe like another time. I love Dance Moms, chat, don't get me wrong. I think I'm not gonna watch the Sidemen Among Us. I'm sorry. I don't want to. Yeah, we can watch the button. First, I want to watch the new Drew Gooden and Danny Gonzalez videos. Because I want to watch them. And that's my reason.
Everybody.
Bum, 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 bum. Oh! Okay, let's get to watching.
He always says to me, Drew, you don't make your own merch from scratch in your kitchen. You have some
He
company
does!
do it for you. Well, read it and weep, bozo.
Thank you, It's Joyce, for the Twitch Prime.
Buy something for your dad at drewgoodjob.com.
Hey guy, it's January, and for the 29th year in a row, my New Year's resolution is to get taller. To be honest, I used to be really good at getting taller. In fact, from 1993 to 2011, I grew almost 6 feet. But in the 12 years since, nothing. What am I doing wrong? Is my body stupid? Lucky for me, I just found out that there are dozens of tutorials on YouTube, each with millions of views, on how to get taller. There are real videos on this website made by self-respecting human beings who claim that they can teach you to become more tall. Now, I assume the majority of these views are from children, in which case I have good news for you. You will get taller.
Yeah.
I just don't know how quickly or how much. But as far as I've always been aware, once you reach a certain age, that's it. You just have to live with the hand that you've been dealt. Or in this case, the legs, neck, and torso you've been dealt. If there was a simple and foolproof way to get taller, don't you think people would do that? Wouldn't everyone in the NBA choose to be as tall as Bol if it was a matter of choice? That's not how it works, okay? It's not possible.
Why not?
Or is it? It's not. But maybe it's not. Unfortunately, the only way to know for sure is to spend the next month of my life following each and every one of these tutorials and tracking my progress along the way.
Now, before we begin, obviously I got to figure out what it is I'm actually going to be doing. So let's check out some of these tutorials, starting with the most handsome medical professional on YouTube, Dr. Mike.
What you should focus on
He was
to
in the
grow
fight.
the tallest possible,
He was at the creator
making sure you
class.
get enough protein, make sure you're eating your veggies and fruit. You need to get enough sleep because when you sleep well, you actually get a lot of growth hormone release.
Say less, I can do that.
And then on top of that, you want to make sure you're exercising. It makes you process food differently. It makes your muscles grow. And all of those things will contribute to your physical appearance, including your height.
You know, that kind of felt like an afterthought, didn't it? I feel like maybe he forgot what he was talking about and then just threw that in at the end. Because all he did was describe eating well and going to the gym.
Thanks,
And that's how you
Ember.
get stronger. And taller, too. I'm a doctor. But yeah, no wonder all those really buff guys at the gym are also 10 feet tall, because lifting weights does both. I also found two very similar shorts from two different members of 100 Thieves. If you don't know who 100 Thieves is, they're a gaming conglomerate, sort of like FaZe Clan. And if you don't know who FaZe Clan is, then that sentence only made you more confused. So yeah, I think these guys live in the same house, one of those content mansions with 37 bedrooms and little dungeons for their editors to live.
There's a myth that stretching can actually make you taller. Is it true?
No.
Your boy is now 6'3".
I feel taller. I think it.
Oh my god.
Actually, I think what happened is that one of these guys made this video and then the other one saw that it was doing well. So they thought, oh, I'll just do the same thing. I'll hang for a bit, do some stretches, tell everyone to subscribe.
Now the most important step to really grow taller
Go on, tell us.
is hitting that subscribe button right now. If you follow each and every single one of these steps, I guarantee you will be taller.
I hate YouTube Shorts. I miss the good old days when YouTube only had longs. Like this video from Brightside, which has 33 million views.
Some exercises may help you become taller. Some of them are just so effective that it may take less than a week for you to see the results.
You know, if you told me earlier that I could do all this in a week, I would have felt good about that. But after seeing what the 100 Thieves guy did, I have higher standards. He grew 1.5 inches in like 10 minutes, okay? I don't have all week. I'm competing in a slam dunk contest tonight. So as far as exercises go, hanging is definitely the most common thing I've seen so far. Definitely gonna have to do that.
All you need to do is hold on to the bars tightly and try to hang, not touching the ground with your feet.
Right, because if your feet were on the ground, then you would be standing.
Stretching the neck backward helps to elongate the muscles in your neck, and a longer neck will give you additional height. This exercise improves stretchability, and a well-stretched body is a taller body.
Yeah, you don't have to say that every time. This exercise will make your legs longer, and if your legs are longer, then your height is more.
Number 10. Swimming.
Swimming.
Try to swim a minimum of 5 days a week for several hours, and you'll see noticeable results.
Several
Damn, they
hours?
really saved the hardest one for last. Yeah, so you're gonna wanna stretch your neck for a little bit, do a few yoga poses, swim in the ocean for 20 hours a week. Dude, I make one YouTube video a month. How much free time do you think I have? Actually, don't answer that.
Remember to press 2 buttons after watching this video.
Wait, what was that?
Press 2 buttons.
To be fair, he didn't really specify which 2 buttons. So there's one, and then...
Hey, did someone order a pizza?
Sorry, I think you have the wrong... A treasure map? But where did you... He's gone.
No, I just fell.
I don't have time for a treasure hunt right now, but I'll save that for later. Let's see what's next.
There are 3 proven ways to grow taller. Wow. Drink milk, okay?
Not milk. This is
Not what I milk.
feared the most.
Doesn't necessarily need to be cow's milk. You just need a daily intake of calcium because that's what makes your bones grow.
Hey, calm down, all right? No one else said anything about milk, so it's probably not even a common thing.
Number 2 is drinking milk. I drank tons of cow milk.
I can't believe Big Milk has infiltrated the medical community.
But really though, it all comes down to your DNA. So no matter how tall you are, just own it.
I appreciate this person for acknowledging that genetics played the biggest and perhaps only role in this. But by throwing it in at the end, aren't you kind of contradicting everything you've said so far?
But remember, at the end of the day, you're either gonna be tall or not. And no amount of milk you drink could possibly change that. But drink it anyway.
All right, so let's recap. Here's everything I have to do this month. I have to work out and eat healthy. I have to drink milk specifically from a cow. I have to stretch constantly and hang from stuff, and I have to sleep a lot.
The more you sleep, the taller you grow.
And if all these videos are accurate, like I assume they are, then I will
Obviously,
have
why would
no
they not
trouble
be?
hitting my goal height of 7 feet. That's right, other Drew Gooden. For years, you've towered over me, looked down on me in shame, probably had thoughts of squashing me like a bug.
No.
All it would take is one step.
No.
But
not anymore.
When I'm done with this video, I'm gonna be so goddamn tall that your opportunity to squash me like a bug will be over, Drew Gooden 2. And you're gonna rue the day that you blew your chance to do it. Let's get started. 5'11", just 1 inch short of being handsome and perfect, and yet it feels so far away.
One of the first challenges of the video was finding a place to hang from every day. My initial thought was monkey bars at a playground. But the playground that I went to was right outside of middle school, and I just don't think it's a great idea for me to be walking around with a camera and tripod outside of a school. So I just bought a pull-up bar, and I'm gonna hang on that instead.
Hang for 3 minutes. If you can't hang that long, just know the longer you hang, the taller you grow.
The guy from the TikTok said to hang for at least 3 minutes. I actually came really close on my first try. I made it all the way to 7 seconds. And I've slowly worked my way up to about 15. As far as food goes, I've been on a very strict meal plan. I'm eating the same things every day: chicken, rice, sandwich, oatmeal. Really trying to maximize on protein without overeating. Now, I should say, I've already been doing this for like 2 months now before the video. And to my knowledge, I haven't gotten any taller, but I'm sure that'll come. I'm sure a growth spurt is just right around the corner. One more protein shake should do it. Or you know what, it's probably the milk that I've been missing out on. That's what I needed, is to buy cow's milk for the first time in 7 years and drink that every day. Just went on a walk through my neighborhood, better drink some milk. My favorite football team just got eliminated from the playoffs, better drink some milk. Got a giant pimple on my face from drinking so much milk, better drink some milk. I don't really mind the taste of milk so much, it's just that when you drink it by itself, it really coats the inside of your mouth and overstays its welcome. But I can put up with it because multiple YouTubers who I watch and trust assured me that it will stretch my bones. And I know that if there's one group of people on this planet who wouldn't lie to me, it's YouTubers. And then of course there have been my daily stretches, and you know what? Please don't look at my scoliosis, okay? I know my back is all bent up like a pretzel. You don't have to comment on it. In fact, I would probably already be taller if my spine didn't make me do this all the time. Now I gotta say, I forgot how good stretching feels. Even though this is currently having 0 effect on my height, I don't mind doing it because it's actually improving my mood. You know what's not improving my mood though? Sleeping as much as I am. What initially started as the easiest goal on my to-do list has quickly become my least favorite part of this challenge. When you spend every morning laying in bed, you have way too much time to just think about your life and ask all these difficult questions like, why is it the things that we can't control about ourselves are what we obsess over the most? And why does Mr. Beast have a Fortnite skin? The more I slept, the harder it was to get out of bed, and the more tired I'd feel throughout the day, the more weird, unsettling dreams I would have, and the more disconnected I've generally felt from myself. I feel like I'm not getting enough done during the day, so then I put off going to bed at night, which only makes me sleep even later. And as my days get shorter, I'm finding myself becoming more and more irritable. I'm getting overwhelmed easily by basic tasks. It's like I can feel the pressure of time wasting away in front of my outstretched hands, always just out of reach. It's hard to come to terms with the finite number of minutes you've been given on this earth when you don't feel like you're doing enough to take advantage of them.
But are you taller?
But maybe worst of all is that I'm still the same goddamn height.
I don't understand. It's been almost 3 weeks. I've followed every step and I have not 1 extra centimeter to show for it. Maybe a little television will cheer me up.
Oh hey, the new Scooby-Doo show is out. I like Scooby-Doo. This should be good.
I spit truth without a filter, like every comedian before #MeToo.
This is the worst show I've ever watched in my life.
Well, at least I didn't get any shorter, right? Oh no, I did get shorter.
All right, well, now that I have even more ground to make up, I think it's time we start thinking outside the box. Subliminals, possibly the single most gate-kept online community. Through a powerful mix of manifestation and listening to lo-fi beats with headphones on, it turns out you can change any physical feature about yourself that you don't like. Hair, eye color, face shape, even your height. Don't believe me? Listen to one of the many testimonials out there. This works. I went from 5 foot to 5'7" in 3 weeks. Listen to this twice a day and I went from 5'2" to 5'8". I went from 5'3" to 5'7" in 4 months. It just sounds like a regular growth spurt to me, but hey, results are results. And it doesn't stop there. Started this maybe a month ago, gone from 5'4" to 5'7". I listened to this once in my hair growth subliminal playlist and my hair was literally longer than yesterday. I immediately got a headache, oh my God. My cat recovered from cancer. Sorry, scientists, time to pack it up and go home because the real medicine has been lo-fi hip-hop beats to relax / study to this entire time. All right, well, let's make a playlist. Grow taller, height increase after age 21. Grow taller, growth plates, activation, increase height fast. Grow taller in one listen. But get this, I can make it even more powerful. You see, they also have booster subliminals. Use any subliminals once and get instant results. Literally the most powerful booster made in existence. So if I listen to these before and after my height subliminal, then I'll double my results and get them instantly. Man, the internet's so helpful. Well, here goes nothing. I will be 30 feet tall. 30 feet tall. I will become a spectacle of human achievement. I will need custom pants tailored for my very long legs. When I wake up tomorrow, my body will extend far past my bed frame, through the wall, and into the next room. And when I stand up, I will bang my head on the ceiling. All right, think tall thoughts, tall thoughts. I'm a big old boy. Who's that big old boy over there? Is that Shaquille O'Neal from basketball? No, I think that's Drew Gooden from YouTube. Oh my gosh, the road work ahead guy? Yeah, I heard he's so tall. I heard he's about 5'10". I heard he shrunk when he listened to subliminals. It's day 23, and I'm running out of time. I've tried everything. I've hung, I've stretched, I've manifested, I've eaten so much protein. I only have one idea left, and it's kind of ridiculous, but the only thing that I can think of that's still getting in my way is gravity. If I can just find a way to get around that, I'm chilling, right? That's my one obstacle. So I did a little bit of brainstorming, and then last night it finally hit me. I'll just go to space. Unfortunately, that did end up being a little bit outside of my budget, so I settled for the next best thing. I ordered an inversion table from Amazon. You see, my thinking is that if I can contort my body so that gravity is working with me rather than against me, then I can harness its power to achieve heights never before seen by man. Also, I saw some guy use it in a YouTube video. So I spent about 2 hours in my garage putting it together. I didn't think it would take that long because I have a drill, but every time I go to use my drill to assemble something, it ends up being the only tool that's not required. Like, you ever get a bookshelf from IKEA? They don't use screws. They give you 200 wooden pegs that are too thick for the holes you have to smash them into. Sorry, downstairs neighbors, I just time traveled here from the Stone Age. Anyway, it was getting kind of hot in my garage, so I headed inside for my government-mandated milk break before marching back out to finish the job. To be honest, I'm a little scared of this thing. I don't expect it to like break in half or something, but I was reading online that you have to be careful not to hang upside down for too long because what can happen is your blood starts to pool in your head and then you pass out and then possibly go into cardiac arrest. So, you know, gotta be a little careful. And since I'd rather not die in the middle of making a YouTube video, I'm gonna take it pretty easy. Probably not gonna do more than like 30 seconds at a time, at least not unsupervised, of course. But other than that, I'm just here to have fun. And I know it may look like I'm frowning and giving 2 thumbs down here, but hey, get a load of this. You see that? Life's all about perspective. Well, it looks like I'll be incorporating this into my routine from now on. So wish me luck. Everyone, it has been almost a week since I last measured myself, and I've really kicked it into high gear. I've done everything right. I'm feeling very tall, so I am so excited. Let's see where I'm at. Here we go. Holy shit. I'm 6'3".
Yes! Woo!
It actually worked.
This is incredible. This is life-changing. Oh, I forgot I was standing on a chair. False alarm. Let's try that again.
The dogs.
I can't believe it. All those people, they lied to me. I thought I could trust them, but they deceived me.
Hi, 911. I'd like to report a lie.
That's funny. I like that.
You guys don't do that? You just do like murders and stuff?
I just don't get it. What would even compel someone to go on the internet and spread false information on a platform where clickbaiting outrageous claims can be financially lucrative? I can't think of a single reason why someone would do that. But I tell you what, this is definitely going to change the way I consume media from now on. Now that I know that some people out there are purposely dishonest, I'm not taking anything at face value. And as soon as the Nigerian prince who emailed me last night is done wiring me my inheritance of $1.6 million, I'm gonna use that money to change the world. I'm gonna take out ads in the newspaper. I'm gonna put up billboards warning everyone to be careful because some people don't have your best interest in mind. Some people do, like this guy who's about to trim my armor for me and give it back to me in the wilderness, but not everyone can be as kind-hearted as him. So yeah, maybe I started this video with a New Year's resolution of getting 13 inches taller, but after everything I've learned today, I think my new New Year's resolution is to be 13 inches kinder.
Wow.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Oh wait, I gotta go find that treasure.
Back.
I love it. Wait, you telling me that the treasure was this video's sponsor the whole time? Damn, I bet this guy majored in marketing for one semester.
I have before me quite possibly one of the greatest inventions of the 21st century. A stroller that was designed for men. This product is called the Tactical Stroller. I first learned about it from a commercial on my For You page, and ever since, I have been fascinated by the concept. A stroller, something designed to transport the most fragile of beings, and it's called the Tactical Stroller. Was this thing designed to see combat? And it's made by a company called Tactical Baby Gear, so yes, there are more products. So I bought this stroller, and for the past few days, I've been testing it to find out how in God's name is this thing considered tactical. But you don't get to see the results just yet. No. That's why I put this sheet on it. It's for dramatic effect. The stroller did not die and become a ghost. I'm gonna pull it off later. Okay, so this is the first commercial I saw for it. It's called Your Stroller Sucks. Kind of feel like maybe that title backfired a little bit, but nevertheless, let's watch it.
That squeaky excuse for a stroller sucks.
Okay, kind of mean. Seems like a fine stroller to me. Actually, they look pretty similar. On first glance, I wouldn't even know which one is the tactical stroller and which one isn't.
Upgrade your beautiful baby's ride to smooth sophistication. With the largest all-terrain wheels in its class, it can tackle curbs like a pro linebacker.
What exactly is its class, though? I've never even remotely heard a stroller refer to itself as tactical before. So like, yeah, I guess it does have the biggest all-terrain wheels in its class, but it kind of wins by default, no? Also, what does it mean to tackle curbs like a linebacker?
It can tackle curbs like a pro linebacker.
What is that? Is that a thing? Is that necessary? You know how when you're pushing your toddler along nice and steady and all of a sudden you just book it towards a curb with the power and speed of a professional linebacker?
Yeah,
well, don't worry, because this stroller
curb.
can handle that. Your child might not be able to, but this stroller can handle that.
And when shit hits the fan, don't worry, we got you covered. Just throw it in the wash.
Okay, so he goes over some other features of the stroller. There's adjustable suspension. There's shock absorbers on the back of the seat. I guess both of these are to smooth out bumps. I'm not sure why every design choice they made when creating the stroller seems to center around tackling curbs like a pro linebacker.
When it's time to retrieve your little bundle of joy, the one-touch harness unclips instantly.
I like that he's using like military euphemisms to talk about everything except the baby. It just doesn't seem right that the tactical stroller carries a bundle of joy. I guess maybe the parents that he's marketing this towards wouldn't really like it if he was referring to the baby in military lingo. If he just started calling the baby like the payload or something, I guess maybe parents wouldn't like that. But it just kind of feels like something this dude would do, you know, in his own time. Honey, did you drop Lisa off at daycare this morning? I delivered the asset to the drop point, if that's what you're asking. Okay, so yes? No, actually, I bombed at Denny's. Oh, what the fuck?
So get off the struggle bus and join the TBG family at tacticalbabygear.com.
What if he rolled up to the other tactical baby products and one of them was just like a tank? We also offer tanks and an unmanned drone. You're like, wait, awesome. Where does the baby go then? He's like, baby? What the fuck are you talking about? This thing drops payloads. On Denny. All right, so we all know why this thing is called the tactical stroller, right? We get who this is marketed towards. You guys saw the camo. You heard the rock music. You understand what's going on. This is clearly marketed towards men who don't want to look like a pussy, I guess, for pushing around a normal stroller. So they need the stroller to confirm to themselves and everyone else around, I am a man. I'm a male. I'm a man. I guess there's a certain type of guy that's like, the stroller that I'm pushing my baby in has to have camo or I'm not a dude anymore. If I so much as touch my kid and there's not camo around, I'm mom now. I would just like to know, why does the military get like a complete monopoly on masculinity? There are other types of guys.
Propaganda.
There's guys that are really into like Legos, and that's the only one I can think of right now for some reason. IPA guys. There's dudes that are really into beer. Give me a stroller that's just like a transparent keg of beer that my baby can float around in like he's a patient in a Star Wars hospital. Also, there's other aspects of the military, you know. It's not just like covert stealth operations. What about like scientists in the desert blowing up nuclear bombs? Give me that kind of baby gear. I want a shirt that says proud father of a nuclear bomb. My theory about who this is marketed towards, I think is proven correctly in Tactical Baby Gear's website's About Us section. Dirty diapers don't phase you. Spit up isn't a problem. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Yeah, I mean, those are all just parts of raising a kid. It'd be kind of fucked up if there weren't any dirty diapers, I guess. Kind of makes you wonder where this paragraph is about to go, though. Dirty diapers, spit up, that's not the problem. The problem is Al-Qaeda. They're coming for your baby. You need to put them in a tactical stroller. But a diaper bag that's all frills and embroidered rubber ducks with no practical storage capability? Something so cheap it won't survive potty training? Well, there you might have a problem. Beef Brody feels your pain. I've always suspected he did. A committed girl dad, he was neck deep in pink and purple when he finally had enough. I was picking up the kids from school, dropping them off, changing the diapers, so I would have the diaper bag more often than not. He was going to carry this bag around all the time. Beef wanted something practical that matched his lifestyle and personality, but there was just nothing out there. Okay, first off, hell yeah, brother. I do love seeing dads taking a more active role in their kids' lives. So first off, kudos to you, Beeve. And I would like to say that I think probably for Beeve, this tactical branding is a little bit tongue-in-cheek, you know? But it is kind of weird for him to be like, all my wife's baby stuff is covered in rubber duckies and frills, because that's what she likes. I need a diaper bag that speaks to my style. No, dude, the rubber duckies on your diaper bag aren't for your wife. They're for the baby. They're because babies like those things. So it's kind of weird to be like, I need a diaper bag that's just for me. Does this dude also watch like children's shows and be like, talking animals and learning lessons about sharing? I already know all of this. Why are we watching this shit? I was so sick of watching these kid shows with Dora and Swiper that they made for my wife. How is this supposed to appeal to me? Also, if he founded this company because he didn't want to push around girly or childish stuff, then what the hell was wrong with that stroller? The stroller from the first commercial. What about this makes it the mom stroller? So after watching this commercial, I was so intrigued by the concept that I couldn't help but buy one. All right, here we are at Tactical Baby Deer. Tactical Baby Deer. Yeah, here we are at fucking militarybambi.com. Okay, so let's click on the stroller here, and it is $948. Is that a normal price for a stroller? That seems so expensive. From my research, the price of strollers can vary widely from low end to very high end. The tactical stroller is definitely towards the top. Just to test, I googled best stroller, and this article had a $400 stroller listed as the best overall stroller. So sure, maybe it's a little bit overkill to spend $1,000 on a stroller, but that so-called best overall stroller probably can't even stop a speeding bullet. And the tactical stroller definitely can. Just in case you were wondering about that though, you actually could buy that $400 stroller and a bulletproof vest for less than the tactical stroller costs. I mean, I'll give them this. It looks like a quality stroller. It looks like sturdy as hell. I do wonder if it's a little over-engineered maybe. Like, sure, maybe you want to take your kid camping sometimes or something, but it's like, when does the stroller need to be able to withstand like getting run over by a tank or something? It probably doesn't. Like the scenarios in which the durability of this stroller come in handy, you probably shouldn't be putting your kids in the first place. Then again, I've never been a dad. Maybe sometimes shit just happens. You stop paying attention for 1 second, suddenly you're in a guerrilla warfare scenario and you've got to protect the kid. I love that they were
also like I feel like a stroller, like yeah, you want to invest, but like you know, kids grow up. It's not gonna be here forever. You know what I mean? It's not like a piece of furniture where you'll probably have it for like several years. You'll probably only have the stroller for a few years, even if you have multiple kids. You know what I mean?
Like, they just made this one tiny part camo. Honestly, if it wasn't for that one camo part, this would actually be a pretty sick looking stroller. I personally am not really drawn to the camo aesthetic, but just like a sleek, all black stroller, it looks well built. It does look cool. I would buy it if it didn't have that, okay, well, I am gonna buy it, actually. I am gonna buy it anyway. Oh, gift message. What's a message someone would send you with some tactical gear like this? Put the baby in and run. Is this order a gift? No. For my future children, maybe, but not really. Oh, check out our most popular patches. Should I get a patch to go along with this? Hashtag dad life. You know, I feel really weird about ordering the stroller and not being a dad. I'm just now thinking about it for the first time, as it's like suggesting like you might like dad life or daddy patches. God, guns, and diapers. All my favorite weapons.
What?
You've got don't tread on me and don't poop on me. Both things you would say in a tactical scenario. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
My total is $1,000 and $7.25.
Why'd you do
Great.
that?
All right, while my stroller is being shipped across the country, let's go ahead and look at some
Right
more
there, it's not
tactical
being
baby
shipped, I
gear
see
content.
it.
Because they also have a tactical baby carrier.
Not all baby carriers are created equal, and that carrier your wife loves, it wasn't made for you.
Honestly,
This baby carrier kind of looks like a bulletproof vest.
to be fair, this is a cute little like maybe the dad's doing like an army man costume for Halloween. Okay, this totally looks like a great addition to your costume or something. Like, it's very goofy and very like
Vest, right? Kind of a wild look for something you're putting your baby in. To be like, hey, look, it's like a bulletproof vest. That way, in case I get shot, I don't get hit by the bullet. My son does.
We started by
Oh.
carefully
Hey, Allie, thank you for the raid. Welcome, everyone. Hi, I hope you had a good stream. Hi, I'm Sylvie. We're just watching some YouTube videos. It's Danny Gonzalez. It's not just some guy with a baby. I don't know.
selecting the most badass materials we could find.
Oh, I'll
and then
give
tested
you
them.
a little rundown because you're like 9.5 minutes late. But basically, there's this tactical baby gear website company, and they sell like very like obnoxiously masculine baby products that are like military and war themed. So that's kind of, I also love Dana Gonzalez. So that's kind of the vibe, is he's like kind of mocking it for being a little bit of a fragile masculinity move.
The only way we know how.
Something tells me that's not actually the only way they knew how. Is this all you have to do to make something like okay for men to do? Just make it the army? This is such an untapped market. I could think of thousands of things that aren't traditionally seen as masculine and just like wrapping them in camo or some shit. Start a therapy service for men called interrogation. Your therapist is waterboarding you, being like, how did your upbringing affect who you are now?
Yeah,
Your dad's
that's
just
good.
like, I swear to God, dude, I don't fucking know. Well, look at this Black Friday Instagram post they did. That's crazy, dude. Why isn't the baby in tactical gear? Why is the dad decked out and the baby's not? One of them is wearing the wrong thing for wherever they're going. But let's not think about that for too long, because the stroller has arrived. The tactical
Yay!
stroller has arrived. I am kind of disappointed that this didn't come in a more tactical looking package. Just like a huge gash in this thing. Has this already been to war? I guess it is a little bit tactical in the sense that you wouldn't immediately know it's a stroller looking at it. It's come in two different boxes and not like one stroller shaped box, you know? You always have to keep the enemy guessing. I'm trying to think of the most tactical way I could open this box.
Nice.
The unboxing process was pretty confusing and honestly raised a lot more questions than it answered. For example,
That was awesome.
what is Veer? Oh, also I forgot to mention that this whole box says Veer all over it. Veer, Veer. The only place it says tactical baby gear is right here. There's a tiny little emblem that says tactical baby gear. So I guess this thing kind of is in stealth mode. It's like, is this the product that I ordered? I don't even know what Veer is. Whatever this mysterious Veer company is, they sure do have a lot of cryptic slogans, like open air, open minds. Open air, open minds.
Is it like the manufacturer?
Do not know what that means. Open air. I guess, is the stroller like an open air stroller? I find it hard to imagine that there would be any like vacuum sealed strollers, but there's also eat clean, play dirty. Is there food in this box? The stroller's also 100% edible, so eat clean and play dirty, baby. Not sure what I was doing with my hand there, but you also can't forget about the deck of Share the Wild cards they gave me. Veer, Share the Wild. What the hell? These like business cards? All-terrain switchback system. All-terrain switchback system. Oh, these are like flashcards for memorizing like the features of your stroller. All-terrain switchback system. All-terrain switchback system. And then of course on the back you have the answers to these questions. A whole new way to roll. A whole new way to roll. A whole new way to roll. I grew more and more suspicious as the unboxing process went on, and there was literally no mention of tactical baby gear anywhere. Welcome to Veer. It was all just Veer. Hello, welcome to a world of adventure, a world designed for raising the wild in every child. We look forward to seeing your adventure at #VeerGear. What company did I order from? I later looked it up, and it turns out that Veer is also a stroller company, and they have their own stroller called the Switchback System, which is like virtually indistinguishable from the tactical stroller. Anyway, the tactical stroller is obviously just some kind of collab between Veer and tactical baby gear. Literally the only difference between the tactical stroller and the Switchback System are 2 little pieces of camo on the tactical stroller and 2 tiny printed logos that say tactical baby gear. 2 very important modifications that totally justify the extra $50 that you will pay for the tactical stroller. So Veer's Switchback System could actually be a slightly cheaper alternative to the tactical stroller. Just as long as you're a woman, because that stroller is clearly not designed for a man. Whoa, Nelly, dude. Look at the size of this wheel. I'm gonna ram this thing at a curb so hard when I get it put together. I thought this would be more like rubbery, but it's kind of like hard, smooth plastic. I don't know if that's what you want. I want this to feel like a dirt bike tire, so I can really take my future children off-roading. Some sort of handle, okay. I can only imagine that this attaches to the kid. And pick it up. Show it to people. And then this is the little sunshade. And just when you think it's not tactical, it becomes.
Yeah.
Tactical, that is. Okay, so why in step 1 is the stroller already completely built with the wheels on it and everything? Kind of feel like that should be step 1 then, getting the wheels on, because right now it's just a bunch of pieces. Despite the instructions being a little confusing, putting together the stroller was actually pretty easy.
This is Danny Gonzalez's newest video.
And in no time, I was sitting pretty. It's nice that they implemented a grown-up mode. Like, before you put in the baby seat, it's big enough for a grown-up to sit in, which is pretty nice. So that way, you know, sometimes the baby can push you. All right. And just like that, gang, I think we've got ourselves a stroller. How do I sit the seat up more? Squeeze and slide the trigger on the seat back. There's a trigger on the seat back? Just in case. But here comes a real gripe with the tactical stroller. While I was fiddling around with the adjustable suspension system for the first time, I noticed something truly unacceptable. I was trying to see if I could notice the difference on the suspension between the lowest and highest setting. So let's change it to 6. See how that feels. Okay, that is feeling virtually indistinguishable. But I couldn't tell just using my hands, so I decided to use my butt. So I got in the stroller, I bounced around a little bit, I changed the setting, I bounced around a little bit. I was having a wonderful time. Daddy, no. Daddy, please. It hurts. I didn't really notice a difference in the suspension system, but maybe it was just because I was having so much fun. I feel like either way it's gonna be bumpy. I don't know what to tell you, man. If you're taking your kid over boulders, they're gonna feel it. But when I got up, that's when I noticed a pretty substantial quality issue with this stroller. Okay, I hope I didn't fuck this up, but this like seat is super wobbly on here now. And I don't know if I did that. Was it like this before? I don't remember, but look how much look how wobbly that is. Is that supposed to be like that? Okay, there's a chance that maybe Daddy did a little bit too much testing in the stroller as baby. At least that's what I thought, until I was reviewing footage from before I sat in the stroller, and look, it's still wobbly. So the seat on my stroller is just like that, but then I was rewatching the commercial for the tactical stroller, and it's like that in there too. B, buddy, what good are wheels that can tackle curbs like a linebacker if your baby is shaking around in its seat like an Italian greyhound the entire time? Not cool. All right, I'm ready to test the stroller. I have with me one tactical stroller.
Actually, I don't think babies
but
are
I can't test the stroller by itself.
I think that's like a big baby roll.
So I went out and I found the most tactical looking baby I could find. Baby Chewbacca. And then I strapped a dumbbell to him so he would weigh as much as a regular child.
Okay, now that's a healthy baby boy. This is a boy who's been drinking his milky, his Chewbacca milk. Now this is pretty good on its own, but I think that we can make this even more tactical, and that's by giving Chewbacca a gun. That's a healthy baby boy.
What's Danny's obsession
Okay,
with
so
guns?
the child is ready to be tested, the stroller is ready to be tested. I got to thinking, the only thing that's not ready to be tested here is me. Tactical baby gear is missing one crucial element. Because what do moms have? Moms have their strollers, their diaper bags, their freaking
And dads
baby
have their
carriers.
guns.
But they also have their maternity clothes. So I went on Amazon and I found myself some tactical paternity clothes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, they're really small. I think I ordered the wrong size. Honestly, I don't even remember there being sizes. I feel kind of cheated by Amazon right now. Is this a children's costume? Oh. I think I found out the mistake that I made. On here, there's different heights that the costumes are for, and it looks like the one I bought is for people who are 4.1 feet tall, which I am not. I am taller than that, okay? As you can clearly see.
Let me tell you why I think this is the perfect outfit for owners of the tactical stroller. The tactical stroller is for dads who don't want to be seen pushing their kid around in a girly looking stroller. This outfit is for dads who don't want to be seen with their child at all.
I guess I gotta figure out how to get this thing in my car, because this stroller is huge. This is not your mommy's stroller. This is not your grandma's stroller. This is your daddy's stroller. Okay. Now, I did throw away the instructions. I distinctly remember there being instructions about how to fold this thing up, and I threw them right in the trash.
There's definitely gonna be a button somewhere. And okay, that makes it bigger. That's not what we want.
Oh no. Maybe if I just start folding it. Motherfucker, dude,
No.
how do you fold this thing? Wait. Oh! I didn't even know it was folding until it was already on the ground. If you asked me to do that again, I wouldn't know how to do it. It just happened. It has a tactical folding ability. It folds before the enemy can even figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
All right.
Woo!
Now it's a
Danny
tactical
Gonzalez
segue.
is so funny.
Speaking of segues, it's time to talk about our sponsor, HelloFresh. HelloFresh is without a doubt on this win and the leave of having not to percent eat health to choose. We're cooking 30 mustard for 20. Checking out HelloFresh.
Tackle curbs like a linebacker. I've come to my favorite curb in town. This curb is here in the Walmart parking lot, right next to this beautiful lake, this beautiful frozen lake, and it's time to slam him into this curb.
At first, I took him over nice and easy, like a normal, non-tactical parent would do. I sort of went civilian mode on the first one.
That was pretty easy. Did that look good?
Then I took it a bit harder.
This is like a parent in a rush. That felt a little more violent.
That one probably would have been pretty uncomfortable for a child. I could tell Chewbacca didn't really like it. He popped up into the air, dude. He looked surprised when it happened. And then lastly, I went pretty much full force into the curb. I ran. I did not slow down. I did not hesitate. I looked like I was on my way to platform 9 3/4.
And then we both fall in the lake and die.
Now look, I wouldn't advise doing this with your kid with any stroller. Anything above a normal walking speed had Chewie popping up. It certainly wasn't gliding over the curb by any means. So for a linebacker, it wasn't good. For a stroller, on the other hand, I felt like it did okay. The only thing that I felt like was holding it back from reaching excellence was the fact that the wheels are made out of hard plastic. I feel like if they were like real tires, there would be a little bit more give, and that would have been, a little smoother of a ride. But then again, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about this stuff.
One thing I will notice is that we got so tactical that the camo visor actually came down as a result of how tactically I handled that curve.
Oh,
and
wow.
Let's just do one more surprise one just to be safe.
Next, I transported my darling baby boy to a nature preserve so we could test the all-terrain claims from their website.
I'm getting pretty good at this. And it's actually kind of nice, taking this guy around and buckling him in. I think maybe I'm starting to get baby fever myself. Maybe I'd like to have a real life baby Chewbacca. Slam him into curbs and whatnot at dangerous speeds. That's what being a father's all about.
Terrain number 1, regular road. This thing handled remarkably well.
That was pretty good. I was pretty worried that because these wheels are like smooth plastic and not rubber that there wouldn't be enough traction, but this thing has grip, dude. I don't know if you could tell, but I was sliding around more than the stroller was, dude. I was about to spin out.
Its only downfall on the road is that it just had like a hard time taking turns. Terrain number 2, gravel. It also did pretty good. Even with the path being a little bit bumpier, Chewbacca didn't look like he was bouncing around too much.
I wonder if I turn these shock absorbers down. I wonder if that's gonna change anything.
I caught him.
I feel like maybe he's bouncing around a little more now.
baby.
I have no clue which shock absorber setting means more bouncy or less bouncy. I don't even know why that's on there. You'd always want it to not be bouncy. When does your baby need to feel like the road? Never. I have never met a baby that needed to feel the road.
The snow, however, is where things started to fall apart.
Whoa, doing a little bit of drifting here. Okay, this is definitely where the smooth plastic wheels come to bite you in the butt. Because I was definitely slipping and sliding on that, and so was the stroller. Yeah, look at that.
No.
That baby's going haywire.
But that was nothing compared to the
That's
last
not tactical.
terrain.
The woods.
Oh.
Luckily with this stroller, that shouldn't be a problem. Oh, fuck. Oh. Dude, I was so worried I was going to tumble over the stroller. I'm glad I got out of the way. What did I hit? Oh, I hit the root. Right off the bat. The forest is not looking good for this thing, dude. Especially little roots.
I tried again to just walk casually through the woods this time.
I can't. That was so, wait. The whole thing, it was perfect timing. Like, it was perfect execution.
But that shouldn't be a problem. Oh, fuck.
That's
no.
so
Dude,
good.
I was so worried I was going to tumble over the stroller. I'm glad I got out of the way. What did I hit? Oh, I hit the root. Right off the bat. The forest is not looking good for this thing, dude. Especially little roots.
I tried again to just walk casually through the woods this time, but even the slightest blockage, whether it be branches or, again, roots.
Oh, it's another fucking root.
Would stop us dead in our tracks.
I'm feeling like this was not designed to be pushed in the woods. I'll say it. You know, it's weird because this branch is definitely smaller than a curve.
I also tried to climb a hill. That did not work.
It's not gonna happen. It's not going up the hill. There's too many roots on the hill.
Bonus testing round! As we all know, you cannot truly be tactical unless you can evade your enemies. And you cannot evade your enemies unless you can hide in the woods. So you guys are gonna turn around and we're gonna go hide. And let's see if you can spot us.
God, there's so many fucking roots out here. Somehow Chewbacca ended up in there.
Hey, buddy, he's still in the stroller.
That's not where the baby goes. Weren't you strapped in? Could have swear to God I had you clipped in.
So by now, I've pretty much tested all the biggest claims that the commercial has made, but I'm still not really satisfied. I still feel like I haven't really tested the core of this stroller. Is this thing tactical? I don't yet know how this thing handles in a real tactical scenario. So I need to take this thing on a real tactical mission.
The mission? Deliver this asset to the drop point without being shot by a gunman. Let's see how well this tactical stroller holds up in a real-life tactical scenario.
I'm gonna start here without a gun. I'm gonna pick one up here, and then I'm gonna try to get to here. Let's do it.
On your mark. Get set. Go. That was not a good start.
The mission was not off to a great start. I had already been sabotaged and betrayed by my own stroller, and I felt like a sitting duck. But that's when I realized, what if I just use the stroller as a shield? Might not be winning any Father of the Year awards anytime soon, but pretty smart if you ask me. Eventually, I made my way over to my gun.
Oh, fuck, ow.
I got shot a few times.
Oh, fuck.
That kind of pissed me off, and then I decided I was pretty much done.
Oh, my butt. He got my butt.
So I desperately tried to make my way towards the exit.
Oh, fuck. That's butt.
Ow.
and then I escaped. After testing this thing in
Hey.
combat, I gotta say, does not really feel like it was designed for that. This thing is not meant to be
The cat
pushed
wants
fast, as I've learned twice now, especially over any kind of uneven terrain. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what the tactical stroller looks like now. As you can see, it is in kind of sorry shape. The wheels are just coated in dirt and paint. The sides and back of this thing are also just splattered with paint. I honestly didn't even know we got hit this much, dude, but we are in real danger. Chewbacca's not looking too great either. His little seat is all dirty from falling in the woods, and he is honestly looking pretty sad himself. So yeah, that's the tactical stroller. It's pretty dinged up, but you know what? Even after being through all of that, it's not broken, you know? It's still kicking. Thank you guys for watching.
Oh, and this one's a farming video. He doesn't want out. He's enjoying himself. I guess maybe when he turns this way, maybe. Okay, Stinky Annie. He loves me. The baby, however. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, this is Regeneration Farm. Oh, now he wants out. See, he can leave whenever he wants to. And that's because I stopped petting him, by the way. That was your fault. Ducks and blueberries. All right, let's see it. Let's watch it a little bit faster. This
Hi,
is
I'm
Stardew
Josh,
moment.
and
There's
we're on
ducks
Buck
and
Harry,
blueberries in
UK's only
Stardew.
organic duck egg producer. We have approximately 500 ducks on our 10-acre regenerative farm here in
Oh
Wales,
my
Southwest
gosh.
Wales. We also have approximately 700 blueberries and a small flock of sheep. And we also have young Kaio and Hachi, our two dogs, always by our side. Abigail and I used to live and work in London. We had some good careers working in offices there, and we were really concerned with the environmental problems that the world is facing, and we felt pretty helpless. And we wanted to do something that made us feel like we were making some sort of positive impact and improving our own lives as well. So we actually started off with the blueberry patch. That was the first thing we knew we wanted to do. So the blueberries was actually the starting point, and the ducks followed soon after that. We started off with a small little flock of ducks as sort of pets, just because we were interested in them. But also, we had no farming background and no history in agriculture, so we'd been educating ourselves about how to produce food based on what we could find on the internet. And a lot of that was permaculture related content. And of course, in the permaculture world, ducks are heroes. They are the slug slayers. We noticed and started realizing that there were actually very few people raising ducks commercially. There was no one else in the country raising ducks in a regenerative way on a large scale. They just are way better for the Welsh climate than chickens. When it starts raining, chickens tend to run back to their coop, whereas ducks do the opposite. They just love it. They preen themselves and they have a bath. The other reason we chose ducks is that they're flat-footed. We have this blueberry patch where we're mulching a lot. We were using a lot of wood chip at the time. Blueberries tend to have really fine, shallow root systems, sort of live on the surface almost on the surface of the soil. So too much scratching would be detrimental to the blueberries. So the flat feet of the ducks really works well with the blueberries and the mulch. And on top of that, we had loads of slugs. When we first moved here to the area, we literally just had slugs crawling up our legs. It was terrible. So the quantity of slugs was a huge motivator to get ducks. On Park Harrig, we have 3 different breeds. We have the infamous Khaki Campbell, which everyone knows as the ultimate slug slayer and egg layer. We have then 2 closely related breeds. One is the Dark Campbell, and the other one is the Welsh Harlequin. The Welsh Harlequin, another name for the Welsh Harlequin is Honey Campbell, so they're also a Campbell, and they're very much related to the Khaki Campbell. So they're equally good layers, equally good slug slayers, and they also, Welsh Harlequins also happen to be
I love it.
really rare. They're one of the most rare
slugs.
of all duck breeds.
They are
so
slaying,
we think
aren't
it's great
they?
that we can help expand the population a bit here. Most ducks that are raised commercially, actually, pretty much all ducks that are raised commercially in the UK are raised on concrete yards with access to maybe a small amount of free range that tends to just be mud. So there's not much ability to select for the ducks that are really good at actually foraging on a large scale and free ranging on a large scale. So that was one of the reasons we decided to start breeding our own ducks. And once we started that, we realized actually we're the only organic duck breeders in the UK. So we really got into breeding so that we could actually take charge of the genetics and be more involved in that side of the business. We have 2 different houses at the moment for our ducks. So our first house was the small one in the background there, and the second house we've recently gotten is a livestock tunnel. Ducks, they really don't like change. They'd actually prefer to have a single location that they can go to bed at night, a single location that they can lay their eggs, and you can herd them. So when you let the ducks out in the morning, you can herd them to where you want them to be on that particular day. So you can still rotate your ducks like you might with chickens, but you do it slightly differently. You keep the house in one place, and you herd the ducks to the location you want, and you make sure that your water stations are set up there, because the ducks are going to spend most of their time around those water stations. Working with hundreds of ducks is fantastic. It's really, they're full of character, and they take themselves very seriously, and they're really comical little things. So we've been at this for 5 years, and ponds is absolutely something that we want to install on quite a big scale here. So we've started off with mobile paddle pools. So they're little kiddie paddle pools that we fill up with water. The ducks swim in them,
Yeah,
and then we just empty those onto the...
I watch my videos in 1.5 times speed because I think we've all developed a little bit of
closest
attention.
shrub or tree that happens to be nearby.
Whatever.
And that works really well. The ducks love it, and it's not like, they're not disturbed by the fact that they don't have a big pond. So that system works, and we could carry on doing that for a while.
You're in trouble.
Then the impact you could have with the background there. And the second house we've recently gotten is a livestock tunnel, and then drain onto. We will have ponds around the farm. The ducks swim in them, and then we just empty those onto the closest shrub or tree. And ponds is absolutely something that we want to install on quite a big scale here. So we've started off with mobile. You can still rotate your ducks like you might with chickens, but you do it slightly differently. You keep, because the ducks are going to... It's really, they're full of character, and they take themselves very seriously, and they're really comical little things. So we've been at this for 5 years, and ponds is absolutely something that we want to install on quite a big scale here. So we've started off with mobile paddle pools. So they're little kiddie paddle pools that we fill up with water. The ducks swim in them, and then we just empty those onto the closest shrub or tree that happens to be nearby. And that works really well. The ducks love it, and it's not like, they're not disturbed by the fact that they don't have a big pond. So that system works, and we could carry on doing that for a while, but we are working towards a system where we will have ponds around the farm that we can allow 500 ducks to go and swim in. Obviously, they're going to dirty that water, and we're coming up with a system where we will have a sort of a fertigation pond that we can then drain onto crops that need fertilization. We're very excited about the potential of having multiple ponds on Park Carrig, which can drain from one to the other and then potentially into the blueberry patch.
Ponds would probably be good with ducks.
We like to refer to the duck house as our compost factory. We produce all our manure there, spread it onto the garden, which is directly downhill of the duck house. And then we grow, the plan is, and what we've been growing this year is a very hungry crop, winter squash, which is doing incredibly well,
it looked like
growing all over the side of the duck house. We'll harvest that and sell that to our local organic wholesaler just across the road. So it's a great system, and we're not by any means short of fertility here. We've got plenty of it. We really need multiple businesses. Any one of these businesses wouldn't be enough to make a livelihood. And also, we want diversity on the farm. We don't want just one crop or just one enterprise, because without diversity, we're not creating enough habitat for the wildlife, and we're not creating those opportunities to sink carbon and to grow trees and add to the local environment. So by having multiple enterprises on Park Carrig, we've got that diversity. It's wonderful to see sheep and geese and ducks and blueberries and trees all inhabiting the same space, but trying to keep order in that space is a real challenge, and it's been a learning process, but it's beautiful to look at, and it's also more productive economically. The flock of sheep have expanded and contracted over the years, and at the moment we've settled on a really small flock of about 20 sheep in total, and they're really here to help manage the edges of the farm and the grass, because they have a service to provide. They bring biodiversity, they bring manure, they move nutrients around the farm, they nibble the hedges and move those nutrients to another part of the farm. Having a wild farm that has lots of biodiversity and having something that's completely wild where we can't be productive at all. So the sheep help us with that dance. They help us keep nature at bay, but also bring some diversity at the same time. The unique thing about geese is that they are grazers, and they can live 100% off grass, but they are poultry. Ultimately, they're still birds, and they're not ruminants. So they have this unique ability to consume a lot of forage and break it down in their crops and actually digest that and turn that into meat. Whereas most other poultry, or all other poultry, require nutrient-dense food. They're all monogastrics, just like us, and they need food which essentially you could argue could go towards human consumption, whereas geese can take something that we can't eat and they can turn it into meat. They're the only grass-fed livestock that can purely be fed on grass forage that isn't actually producing methane at the same time. And whilst I think there's absolutely a place on all farms for some ruminant animals that happen to produce methane, and my belief is that they're part of the ecosystem and we can't be getting rid of them on a large scale, but I think it's an interesting conversation around geese and what they have to offer. When we started trying to find a market for our duck eggs, that was challenging. We chose duck eggs because they were a niche product, differentiated and something that we could be the best at. But at the same time, the flip side to that challenge is that actually you have to build the market and you have to find the people who want to eat the duck eggs. And a lot of people are very squeamish about duck eggs. Chicken eggs is just the norm, and to change someone's habits is very difficult. So any food that you're going to produce that is significantly different to what people are used to eating, just be aware that it's good because it's niche and it's different and you've found a point of difference, but it's going to be hard to find a market. Over time, I think that we will help increase the market for local duck egg sales. Abby and I both feel strongly that if we are privileged enough to have this 10 acres of land here, that it's our duty to not only produce for ourselves, but to be productive enough to produce food for others. For us, it's really important that our farm is both ecologically sound as well as economically sound. We don't feel like humans should be separated from nature, and that all business and farming activity should be on some land, and then you should rewild the rest of the country. We feel like there should be a marriage between agriculture and wildlife and biodiversity. Because if you can scale that up across the country, then the impact you could have would be amazing. We see humans as being part of the ecosystem rather than separate. Perhaps it's a bit idealistic and naive, but it's what we've set out to do. And I think so far, I feel like we're on track to manage to earn a basic living from our farm, whilst also creating a diverse and ecologically sustainable space. And hopefully we carry on, hopefully we survive and we manage to keep doing it.
Yes. I love it. Okay, I lived as a 1940s wartime housewife for 48 hours. This sounds pretty good.
Traveling back in time to the 1940s during World War II. My life was a lot different to what we are used to now in 2021. From washing clothes by hand to food rationing, limited water usage, blacking out the windows, making your own dripping, and waking in the early hours of the morning to the frightening sound of an air raid siren. This is the 1940s, and we will be living like this for 48 hours. It was a bit of a chilly morning on Monday, but I got up and headed to the kitchen to prepare James and I some breakfast. For the next 48 hours, I followed the UK's rationing guide, which meant that we were only allowed 2 tea bags per person. And this was quite a dramatic rationing for the British, since they usually had 10 tea bags each day. We had a nice and easy breakfast on Monday, which included Weet Bix topped with tinned peaches, a glass of orange juice, and a pot of tea. During World War II, fresh fruit was never rationed, but it wasn't always available, which meant canned and preserved fruit was used more often because it could last in the cupboard. Sugar was rationed to 8 ounces or 226 grams per adult each week, which meant in some desserts and foods, other sweet syrups were sometimes used, like honey, maple syrup, and corn syrup.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm used to enjoying avocado and toast, and I love savoury breakfast. This wasn't necessarily my cup of tea, having Weet Bix, and they were kind of dry having it with just sugar and some peaches on top. I couldn't top it with banana or blueberries or anything fancy like that. And of course, we're doing the washing by hand since there were no dishwashers either. After the kitchen was cleaned from breakfast, I headed off to my bedroom to make the bed and get myself ready for the day.
Being a man in this time must have been real nice.
Housewives in the 1940s ensured that all clothing was carefully ironed before being worn. And now it was time for me to change out of my nice warm dressing gown into something more work appropriate for the day. But the look is not complete without some red lipstick. Red lipstick was often worn during the wartime to symbolize victory and optimism. Males between the ages of 18 and 41 were conscripted for service in the war. Not all men within this age range went, as some were medically unfit and others were exempt as they had jobs in important industries such as baking, medicine, farming, and engineering. I couldn't imagine waving goodbye to James and seeing him off to war and the possibility of him not returning. It's an absolutely terrible thought, and my heart goes out to all of those women who had to say goodbye to their sons and husbands.
I forgot about that part.
Since I had James at home, we were able to work together and put up the chicken fence. We bought a chicken house as well and put that together and put it on the little stilts in the chick pen, ready for our chickens to arrive that evening.
I was just thinking, like, wow, imagine having like a housewife like clean and feed you and do everything for you, but then I forgot that they had to go to war and stuff. Oh, that's kind of trash. Uh-oh.
We're going to be getting some eggs really
Hi,
soon.
Cake Gaming.
So we're splurging and having our 1 egg ration, and I'm going to be beating this up, putting a little hole in the bread, and this is going to be toad in the hole or egg in the nest. And I'll be mixing this up so that 1 egg can spread across 2 pieces of bread. Later on this afternoon, we're going to be blacking out our windows to make sure that no light can escape through when we turn on the lights at night. So I've got some fabric here that we're going to be using for that, and we'll just stick that up, and I'll show you the process later on.
That's horrifying. That is so scary.
James and I enjoyed our lunch outside, and let me tell you, it was delicious. You really can't go wrong with toad in a hole. It's just so good every time. I wanted to try my hand at some homemade bread, so after lunch, I got out my ingredients and started to measure my flour and sift it all together. And it was at this point that I realized that I forgot to buy yeast. So I couldn't make my bread that I was so excited to make. Besides the bread situation, we were over the moon with our 2 new chickens. We kept going outside to check on them and make sure that they were at home and had enough seed and water. Mabel and Maud enjoying their food. Babe, tell me who's Maud and who's Mabel?
So, Maud has her back to us because she's a bit cranky.
Yeah.
So that's Maud, because she's giving us this stinky eye. Whereas Mabel is all red. And she's happy, so that's Mabel. Mabel's kind of like a bouncier name than Maud, you know?
Yay, chickens. I want ducks now, though. I'm inspired by the duck eggs.
And by this time, it was almost dinner. We'd spent pretty much the whole day outside with the chickens and making sure they were at home and that they had the fence up and their little hutch to stay in at night. It was time for a cup of tea. Tea bags were often reused and put aside to make a tea essence, which was just a really weak tea. Before I started the dinner preparations, I got out the carpet sweeper and did a once-over of the house. Since I'd been outside all day, I'd neglected the inside chores. Monday night's dinner was a shepherd's pie with beautiful fresh veggies from the local grocery store. Wow. Just like fruit, vegetables were never rationed during the wartime, but they weren't always readily available. So the government encouraged families to create their own vegetable gardens in their backyard, so they were always able to have a constant supply of fruit and vegetables. I sauteed the onion and then put in the chopped vegetables of mushrooms, celery, capsicum, carrot and zucchini. I then added some mixed herbs and some garlic to the mix. For the mash for the top of the shepherd's pie, I boiled some white potato, sweet potato, parsnip and turnip. The recipe called to flavour the shepherd's pie with Marmite, which is something that I'd never used before in cooking, and it turned out unexpectedly really nice.
I've never had carrots and mashed potatoes.
Because meat was rationed during World War II, people could...
Thank you, Ash, for the raid. Welcome, everyone. Oh, thank you. Hi, I'm Sylvie. We're watching a video of someone living in the 1940s wartime housewife for 48 hours.
Only have a small amount of meat each week, so they got creative with meals and started to use more legumes and beans than they ever would have. So for this shepherd's pie, instead of using lamb mince,
yeah, it is pretty rad,
and it turned out so nice. While dinner was cooking in the oven, I got a head start and did all of the washing, so I didn't have much to do after dinner. So James and I set up the chicken pen outside today because we got our chickens. They arrived this evening and their names are Mabel and Maud. In the wartime, a lot of families got chickens or rabbits or some sort of animal that they could either have the byproduct from or eat the animal. Because of meat and egg rationing, it was much easier to have those foods and livestock if you had the space for it in your backyard. And I'm gonna black out the windows tonight. They would have a warden that would come around and make sure that your windows were blacked out. So if you didn't do that before it got dark, you would actually be fined. So we would be fined if this was the deadline and we had to have the blackout windows up. We don't have the blackout windows up. It was just a totally different time that they lived in. So it's been really cool to appreciate that. What everyone went through and how little food they had. It really makes you appreciate food and even the small amount of food that you do have, to enjoy that and make it into something that tastes good. Dinner was absolutely delicious. We had our lentil shepherd's pie with a side of green beans. It was really filling and we both enjoyed it so much, and I'll definitely be making it in the future.
It does look pretty good.
We had plenty of shepherd's pie left over, so I could reuse that again for a few more meals. After washing the dishes from dinner, I got out the blackout material and stuck that to the window. When you put up your blackout material, cardboard, or painted your windows in black paint, you had to make sure that there was no crack of light that could escape. It had to be pitch black. 1 hour of radio was broadcast every day for families to listen to, updating civilians on the wartime effort and encouraging citizens to help out with wartime jobs.
Over the CBS network, and the Prime Minister said that I have to tell you that we are now at war with Germany. We shall bring you further news as quickly as we have it, and we suggest that you keep tuned to your Columbia station.
I've washed up after dinner. We've listened to some radio that they would have broadcasted in the 1940s during the war, and I'm going to take a bath before I go to bed. There was water rationing, which means that you could only have 5 inches or 12 centimeters depth of water. Look how short that is. That is terrible.
How did they
and
check
bath
for
water was
that?
often reused. When the water shortages were really extreme, you had to reuse that bath water for your whole family, which means, you know, the kids in the bath first and then the adults in after. James and I are not going to be sharing the bath water. We'll run a 5-inch bath each. That's just crazy to think that a whole family had to share bath water and you only got 5 inches. That's not even enough to cover you. You'd just be in the bath freezing, especially during winter. So let's see, I'm gonna pencil on the tub where I need to stop the waterline and we'll see how the bath is. All right, I've drawn a line to where 5 inches is. I mean, that's not from the center of the tub, I don't think. It's just from the edge.
Yeah, but
So,
like
5 inches there.
what if someone has like a really long tub? You know what I mean?
Let's fill it up and see how full it gets.
Like, the volume's gonna be different.
Before, during, and after World War II, cold cream never left a woman's vanity. It was used for removing makeup, cleansing the face, and moisturizing. Soap rationing was introduced in 1942. Imperial leather was advertised as lasting a long time, so it was very popular during the war. I've had my bath now. I've just filled up James's bath, and I really don't think he's gonna like it. I think he's gonna hate it. I was alright at the beginning, but then the water started to cool down, and then my whole body was cold because it was out of the water.
So rich people with bigger tubs get more water. Honestly, they're not gonna. There's no way they were able to monitor that. So I'm sure if you just filled up your tub all the way, you can just be like a shitty person.
So I can't imagine how James is gonna feel because I'm tiny and the water wasn't even covering me. So we'll see what he thinks. Okay, I'll go get him. How much more would you usually fill that? I've drawn the line. Can you see? It's over there.
It's not as bad as I was expecting. I was expecting it to be really bad.
Yeah, me too. It wasn't as bad as I thought either.
Yeah, but it's definitely...
It gets cold fast though.
I was expecting it to be like splash.
After a relaxing bath, I hopped into bed and read a book. On Tuesday morning, I woke to a beautiful day outside with blue skies and the sun shining through.
They probably checked how much water household used. Yeah, but that's what the person was saying. Like a bigger tub would mean more water. You know what I mean? I feel like that's very, very hard to monitor.
I went out into the backyard to let the chickens out, and Mabel cautiously walked down her little ramp.
Probably was more like, don't use this amount of water, and then 5 inches. Yay! Probably.
Good job, Mabel! Followed by Maud, who was just as cautious. And I fed them some scraps from the compost for their breakfast. After feeding the chickens, I got started on making some breakfast. I cooked some bacon as that was part of breakfast, but also I was cooking the bacon specifically for dripping. Because butter was rationed, dripping was used instead and put on bread and any way that you would usually use butter.
I was gonna say, like, putting olive oil and then bacon?
Since I had leftover shepherd's pie in the fridge, I decided to use that and make up a bubble and squeak to go with breakfast. I filled up the teapot with 1 used tea bag, so it was a very mild tea. I poured off the dripping into a bowl and put that in the fridge to set to use for later on. Tuesday's breakfast was really nice. I much preferred this over Monday's dry Weet-Bix. I love savoury breakfasts, and it was actually really nice having that bubble and squeak of the shepherd's pie from the night before. It really made it in combination with the baked beans.
Breakfast? I just can't understand baked beans for breakfast.
My outfit for the day was one of the first dresses that I've made from a 1940s pattern. And of course I had my hair curled from the day before, so I just brushed those curls out so I was ready for the day ahead. And I'm all ready for the day, but I can't forget my red lipstick. Today's washing day, and yellow sunlight soap or velvet soap was commonly used during the wartime. A wringer washer was used in the 1940s to do the weekly wash. But since I don't have one, and I don't want to use my modern washing machine, I'm going to be doing it by hand with a washboard and grating the soap into the bucket. So let's do this. I'm excited to do my first load of washing all by hand.
Wow. Hand washing, yay.
Something that I really liked about doing the washing by hand instead of with a modern washing machine is I was able to sit outside and soak in the sun and have the breeze blowing through my hair and seeing our cute chickens pecking around in the grass. It was just really, really nice. After giving the clothes a thorough washing with soap, I then emptied that water and then put fresh water in for the rinse. And then I had to wring each piece individually since I don't have a wringer or some sort of wringer system that they would have had in the 1940s.
Well, she has the whole drying thing. They didn't like the compost.
Alright, I've just done the washing. That took me about an hour and then I just fed the chickens. I really, really liked using the washboard. I think it was really fun. I think it's just a novelty at the moment, like, oh, a washboard. And I really enjoyed scrubbing the clothes on it and I felt like I really gave them a good clean. I mean, obviously a washing machine does that job for you and does the cleaning, but it felt like I really cleaned the clothes very well. But yes, it took me an hour, so not very time efficient, and that was only one load of washing, and that was like a pretty small load what's on the line at the moment, so not even that many clothes. And once I washed them all, I had to then change the water and rinse them all as well. And then even still, you can see when I hang them on the line, I was wringing out water from them even then. It's a cold wintry day in Melbourne, so it's probably not going to dry, which means I'll just have to hang them up in front of the fire, I guess, so they can dry. You then iron your clothes while they're still a little bit damp and then hang them up in your wardrobe. And we're very much loving Maud and Mabel. They're lovely. We love them so much.
Yay, chickens.
Them in their cute little chicken house. We're gonna paint it and make it really nice. I'm gonna go make some lunch for James and I, and then we're gonna get into making the victory garden. So I'm making mock brains. Sounds really weird, but I wanted to try it out because it doesn't include any meat in it, and I thought it would be interesting to see what the texture's like and what it tastes like. Because I mean, I don't think many people eat brains now. It sounds really, really gross. And I couldn't imagine many people liking it now, but it was a big thing back in the 1940s and the 30s, and they obviously missed it enough to make a recipe called mock brains out of it. So in this recipe, you'll need a cup of leftover porridge, a tablespoon of self-raising flour, a small onion, 1 egg, and a large pinch of thyme, and salt and pepper to season. So let's make this and see how it tastes. Whenever I'm in the kitchen cooking, I can't help myself. I always have a record playing and I just get carried away and dance.
I don't think she's talking about actual brain.
Lunch was so delicious. I absolutely did not expect the mock brains to taste nice. I don't know what I thought they would taste like, but they really outdid my expectations. They were delicious. I highly recommend making them. And after that delicious lunch, I decided to get back in the kitchen,
brain?
And do some dancing, and make some scones.
Like in the
Usually,
head?
you would have enough sugar and butter to make some sort of sweets once a week. So I plan to make scones as my once a week treat.
Wait, am I like, is it brain? I don't know, Helen. I'm asking you guys. I don't think she's actually means brain. Yeah, I can't tell either.
Once the scones came out of the oven, I felt so disappointed. They were so thin, and some of them were a little bit burnt as well. Because I followed a wartime recipe, there wasn't a lot of butter. I think I left them in the oven for too long, so they were a bit dry and thin. They didn't raise how I wanted them to, but they were actually okay when you added a little bit of butter and jam, and even a bit of cream would help with the texture. Families were encouraged to start victory gardens during World War II, as fresh fruit and vegetables weren't always available. So we wanted to try our hand out in making our own little victory garden.
Subtitles
Since
are
we
going
don't
to be
actually have
automated.
anything in the way of a vegetable garden in our yard, we got our seed packets, and we started our little garden, and we planted lettuce and spring onions to start it off.
Oh, porridge? I don't know. Mock brains. Oh, okay.
By the time I brought in the clothes that evening, they were completely dry, which I was so surprised about, considering how much water I was bringing out of them as I was hanging them on the line. Tuesday night's dinner was 1940 style
Like in the
everything
head.
in stew. It's literally what the title says. Anything that you have on hand, vegetables that need to be used up, everything goes in. And the stew is usually paired with some sort of minced meat. Rationing during World War II wasn't just food, it was also electricity. If you weren't in a room, you didn't need the light on. So you'd go through the house and make sure that all the power was off, switches were off if you weren't using them. You would only keep the light on in the room that you were in. The everything in stew was absolutely delicious. It was really hearty and warm and lovely on a wintry night. James also used the dripping that I'd made earlier that morning on his bread to go with his stew, and he really enjoyed it. He said that there were hints of bacon each time he dipped it into the stew. After dinner, I listened to the wartime radio, and I got out some clothes that needed mending. During World War II, women were encouraged to mend their clothes instead of purchasing new clothes.
Mending
along with
like in
food, electricity,
Minecraft,
and water,
chat.
clothes were also
She has
rationed
the
along with many other
enchantment.
things.
She's enchanting right
Bathing
now.
was only done once a week, so I changed into my pajamas, cleansed my face, and hopped into bed. There is something so nice and refreshing about putting cold cream on your face and massaging that in, and then removing it with a hot washcloth. I gave my hair a good brush out. The 1940s beauty advice suggests 100 strokes a day ensures your hair is healthy and shiny. And then after a long day of hard work, I was finally ready for bed.
Looks like my grandmother's like house with all the furniture and decorations.
But then I was woken in the early hours of the morning to the frightening sound of an air raid siren.
What is happening? You can probably cut that out.
You still have 18 minutes. Slam the cover until we all
Why did she cut that?
This is most important. Please take shelter now.
That was sped up too.
No time now for asking what to do, where to go. The hour of trial is upon us.
The air raid siren could be sounded in the day or in the middle of the night, and if it was sounded at night, you had to be sure when leaving your house that no light could be seen from above. There were many unfortunate incidences where people fell down the stairs on their way out to their Anderson shelter or to seek cover. After spending 48 hours living in 1940s wartime, I cannot even begin to understand how difficult life was for people. I was only able to skim the surface by incorporating rationing and limiting water and electricity. There are people all over the world who've had to live through war, and it is amazing how resilient they were, and even with the hardships they went through, they came out the other side and went on with their lives. I have so much respect and appreciation for the women and men of the 1940s after this 48-hour experiment. I really enjoyed this insight into what life might have been like during wartime, and I hope you enjoyed it too. And I'll see you next week for another video on Sunday. Thanks for watching. Bye!
Bye. Alright, now we're watching.
When I think about
I grew fruit trees from store-bought fruits, and this is what happened. This is interesting because I'm pretty sure most of the time when fruit is grown, like fruit that's grown from the stores, the actual fruit is usually like a cutting is sliced off, and then they grow a tree out of that. I don't think they actually really use seeds that often when they're doing big trees. Otherwise, like the type of fruit is like different. So I feel like all the fruit that he grows from the seeds aren't going to taste anything like the fruit. Does that make sense?
about all the different plants and trees that I've grown over the years, there's a few memories that really stick out as some of the coolest and most memorable moments. One of those was harvesting my very first pomegranate from a tree that I grew from a little seed, and that seed came from a fruit that I bought at the store. There's something so rewarding about starting new life from a little seed that would have otherwise just been thrown away without even giving it a second thought. And you don't have to look very far in your day-to-day life to find opportunities to grow some really amazing things. Sometimes you just have to look a little bit closer. So today we're going to go over 7 different plants that you can grow from seed, from fruits that you buy at the store, and I'm going to show you the whole process of how to do it. So let's just get started with pomegranates. So I like to open a pomegranate up by lightly cutting down the ridges of the fruit all the way around and then cutting off the top and bottom. And that way you can just pull the fruit apart, which keeps all the little beads or the arils intact instead of cutting through them with a knife and having juice go everywhere. So next, just go through and remove the flesh off a few seeds. I just gently chew it off and try and clean it off as best as I can. For starting the seeds, one way is just to put them onto a moist paper towel and fold it up, and then put it into a sealed jar or a container and leave it somewhere warm for around 2 weeks. At this stage, they should be sprouting, and then you can just put them into some soil and keep it slightly moist as they adapt to living in the soil. Another way to start the seeds is just to direct sow them into some soil and leave them somewhere warm, keep them well watered, and they should start to sprout after about 2 to 3 weeks. Sometimes they can take a little bit longer than that though, so be patient with them and you should hopefully get some little plants coming up. In a warmer climate, pomegranates will be evergreen, but where I live we get a cold winter, so they do go deciduous, which is totally fine. These are pretty hardy plants and they will just put their growth on again in the springtime. My tree first flowered when it was 4 years old, and I reckon these plants are worth growing even just for the flowers and the ornamental value that they have. And the plants look really cool in autumn as well before they go dormant. Despite flowering for a few years prior, the tree didn't produce a fruit until it was 6 years old, and when growing pomegranates from seed, they don't grow true to type, so fruit quality isn't guaranteed, but I was happy with how this fruit turned out. It had a nice flavour and a really great colour as well, and the fruit was a bit smaller than the ones you find at the store, but this could have also been because it was just its first fruit it ever produced. It's hard to say, it could also be to do with climate or soil, but either way, I reckon these plants are so cool to grow, and getting a fruit was such a rewarding feeling.
Flowers are really pretty.
Next up is goji berries, and you'll often find these in different scroggin or trail mixes, mix them with other dried fruit and nuts. So they're just these little red berries here, and the reason you can't buy these as a fresh fruit is because they're really perishable, and so by growing them in your garden it means you can actually enjoy the fresh fruit and all their great nutritional benefits straight out of your garden. And these are quite a good choice if you live in a colder climate as well. They can handle really cold winter temperatures, and they're also really drought tolerant as well once the plants are established. So there's a couple of ways to get the seeds out of these. The first way is just to pull the berry open and scrape the seeds out, although this does take a while because the seeds are kind of stuck in the sticky pulp, and then you can clean the seeds by rubbing them against a sieve under some water. The second way is much easier. You just need to soak a few berries in a glass of water for a few hours. I left mine in there overnight, and the fruit will swell up, and then you can just squeeze the seeds out of the fruit really easily. And I'm just putting these on a paper towel so that you can see under the camera, but you can literally just squeeze these straight onto the surface of your soil, of the pot that you're growing them in, and get them started that way. I'm just sprinkling the seeds onto some seed raising mix, and then I'm just going to very lightly cover them and give them a bit of a spray with some water. Because I'm doing this in winter, I'm placing these on a heat mat and then covering them with a clear lid just to help keep the surface of the soil moist. This should make the perfect environment for them to sprout. After only 9 days, this is how they looked, so they actually took less than a week to start sprouting, which is really fast, and there didn't seem to be much of a difference between the seeds that I soaked in the fruit and the seeds that I scraped out and cleaned in the sieve. Just a really good level of germination overall, and I think using the heat mat has definitely helped with those seeds sprouting. So I'll leave a link down in the description of where you can get a heat mat from if you'd like, and I've definitely found them to be a really helpful tool when it comes to sprouting all sorts of different seeds. After another 5 weeks, they're putting on some good growth, so they're a nice healthy size to transplant. I'm just carefully splitting these up into their own individual pots and doing my best to not damage the stems or the roots of the plants. So the goji berries did continue growing well, but unfortunately during the summer my turkeys went on a rampage into my shade house, and they stripped all the leaves off most of the plants. They ripped them all out of the ground, and unfortunately I was only able to save a couple of them, so I'm kind of gutted about that, but I'll start a new batch this spring and I'll keep the ones that I've got going. They grow as like a long arching stem, and so some trellis is a good idea if you're growing these, and they can also be grown in containers, which is pretty cool, and still fruit if you grow them in containers as well. And from seed they can fruit after about 3 years from what I've read, but if you know someone that already has goji berry plants that are fruiting, these grow really well from cuttings, and that's a great way to get started and get fruit a little bit sooner than if you were to grow them from seed.
Okay, good. I would rather do cuttings.
So this right here is an awesome dragon fruit plant that I started from seed, and I'm
my brother has dragon fruit plants, and he was gonna get me a cutting of one of them, so hopefully
stoked with how it's looking. I reckon these are such amazing looking plants, and these are a type of vining cactus. They do like to climb, which is why I've got this structure here for it. These can take around 5 to 7 years to fruit if you start them from seed, so quite a while, unless you decide to graft your little seedling, and there's some great videos here on YouTube about that if you want to learn more, and then you could get fruit in as soon as like 2-ish years. You can also grow these from cuttings really easily as well, but I know not everyone can get their hands on cuttings. I wanted to show you how you can grow your own dragon fruit from seed and get some beautiful plants like what I've got here. So there's a few methods I use to get these started from seed, but first we need to get the seeds out of the fruit. And if you've never had these are just the coolest looking fruits. But I just take a small bit of the flesh and push it through a sieve.
The yellow ones are the only ones that taste good.
And you can just leave them out to dry on a paper towel or some baking paper if you like, and then just lightly sprinkle the seeds onto some seed raising mix. And I'm just using another pot with some soil in it and just lightly shaking it over to spread a thin layer of soil over the seeds. Now you just need to leave them somewhere warm with a good amount of light. Make sure the soil doesn't dry.
For a fruit so like interesting and beautiful looking, the actual meat of a dragon fruit is like the blandest shit ever. It's ironic. It's ironic. But the yellow dragon fruits do taste pretty good. They have like a little more flavor to them. Yeah, I don't know. I like the yellow dragon fruits. Hey, Ray!
While they're sprouting, so it can help to cover the pot with a clear lid to keep the
you?
warmth and the moisture in. If you're someone that forgets to water your seeds, the second method of sprouting dragon fruit seeds might work better for you. All you need to do is just submerge some seeds in a cup of water and leave them in a bright and warm spot, like on your kitchen bench or something. You can even put them on a heat mat. And as long as it's warm enough, the seeds should be sprouting after 1 or 2 weeks and look something like this. And then you can just pour them onto some soil and carefully plant them with a toothpick. Whichever way you choose to sprout them, when they're a month old, they should look something like this with just their 2 little cotyledons or seed leaves. At this stage, they look nothing like a cactus at all, but before long, they grow the spiky stems from the middle. And although these are a cactus, they're a type of jungle cacti, so they do like to be watered more frequently than many other types of cacti. When my ones were a year old, this is how they looked here, and ideally I wouldn't plant them this densely again because you just end up with a tangled mess and it's kind of hard to manage. So it's best to have them growing up a trellis at this stage, and that way you can keep on top of trimming the side growth off the plants while they climb to the top. So what I'm going to do next is just add a branch along the top, and then once I clip the tip of the cactus, once it reaches the top, it can then kind of branch out and hang down over the top, and those branches or parts of the cactus that hang down is where the fruits and flowers are going to form. And this is the end of winter right now, and I've just had it growing under the eaves of my house, and although we get frost here and a lot of rain, by having it under here it's protected from too much rain, too much frost, and all that kind of thing. So once it starts to warm up, these really take off and grow quite rapidly. The other thing to know about dragon fruits is that they don't always grow true to type, which is pretty common with a lot of fruits that you start from seed. But it's not to say that the fruits that you get in the end will be worse than the one you started with. There's always a chance it could be better, or it might just be different in some way. So I reckon that's all part of the fun of growing something from seed, especially things like dragon fruits, because they do cross-pollinate with other varieties, and you don't really know what you're going to get until you get to try the fruit. And the good thing about growing them yourself is you can actually pick the fruits when they're properly ripe. Sometimes the ones you buy at the store are picked way too early, which is a common reason why the flavor's kind of a bit bland and not that nice. So hopefully when you grow at home, if you let it fully ripen, will still be really nice.
Interesting.
So the next one we're looking at is peanuts, and these are obviously not a fruit, and they're not a nut either. They're a type of legume, and they're a lot of fun to grow. They're really fascinating plants, so I thought we'd cover this one today. So what you want to do is pick up some natural raw peanuts. You can either get the ones in the peanut shells, or just use ones like what I've got here. Just make sure they're not salted or roasted. I've had success sprouting them in 2 different ways. The first way is by direct sowing into some potting soil, and these do need fairly warm temperatures to sprout.
They're
the seeds
like,
can rot if you keep them too
like
wet, so it's best to use a soil
right?
that drains quite well. You should start seeing them sprout within a couple of weeks, and this is how mine were looking at a month old, though the speed that they grow will kind of depend on how warm it is.
Look at them.
I've also had success sprouting these on a moist paper towel, but do make sure that you squeeze out most of the water. You only really need it to be very slightly moist. Too much moisture in the paper towel will cause them to grow mold, so also don't soak the peanuts first or anything. Just put them in as they are and then fold them up and place them into a sealed container. After 5 days, they should have started to grow and sprouted some decent roots, and then you can just plant them into some soil and water them in. And after another 10 days,
really,
so 2 weeks total, you should have yourself some little peanut plants. Peanuts grow well in fairly loose sandy soils that are rich in organic matter, and they need quite a long season of warm weather to grow and mature, usually around 5 months of warm weather, and you can also grow these in a nice wide container too if you like. If you've never seen how the actual peanuts grow, this might blow your mind a little bit. I know it did for me. So first they produce these little yellow flowers which can actually pollinate themselves completely independently without needing insects or wind. And once the flower is fertilized, the stem of the flower with the ovary on the tip elongates to become a peg, which then dives headfirst into the soil and then grows and forms into a peanut. Really fascinating stuff. Once these are ready to pick, you can pull the whole plant out and hang it up and allow the peanuts to dry. And my plants ended up getting kind of shaded out and neglected in the end, so they didn't really thrive, but it was still cool being able to harvest a few handfuls of my own peanuts.
I was right, guys.
Tamarillos or tree tomatoes are a fruit native to South America, and they grow on a really fast-growing tree. They can fruit from seed in about 1.5 to 2 years. And these are a little bit harder to find in stores at times. They are usually only available seasonally, so do keep an eye out for these. If you've never seen on the inside, we'll cut one open, and you can see how incredible these look. For growing Tamarillo, I just put a bit of the seeds through a sieve to clean them off as best as I can. It doesn't really clean them off very well, but that's totally fine. And then I just dry the seeds off on a paper towel or baking paper. What fruit is that? Now I'm just taking the seeds and sprinkling them onto some moist soil, lightly covering them, and then placing them somewhere warm. And again, I'm just covering these with a plastic lid to keep the moisture and warmth in. After 5 weeks, they're looking nice and healthy, and we seem to have had a good germination rate as well, which is awesome. So now's a good time to transplant these into their own pots. And it's a bit like tomatoes, where it's best to handle them from their leaves as opposed to holding the really fragile stem.
I've literally never heard of this fruit before.
At 3.5 months old, these have developed some good root systems, so I decided to upsize the pots again, and I'm just using a good quality potting mix and putting a bit of mulch on the top to protect the surface roots because these are quite drought-sensitive plants. Unfortunately, these trees have been getting damaged from pests like caterpillars, which I've since picked off, and I've also blasted the leaves with water because they had quite a lot of whiteflies on them, which seem to be attracted to these plants. And now I'm just spraying the leaves with neem oil to try and get rid of them fully, and I find this usually works pretty well after doing it a couple of times. Tamarillo trees do best in a subtropical climate and one that's protected from frost and wind, because even like a light frost will cause the leaves to turn black and fall off. As long as you can keep the trunk green though and alive for the winter, they should resprout the leaves in the spring. But yeah, frost is definitely not ideal for these plants. The other thing is wind, so keep them somewhere protected. They don't mind a bit of shade, so you can like plant some trees around them to give them a bit more protection. But yeah, if you can do all that, then you should be able to get some fruits off these and yeah, enjoy your own homegrown Tamarillos.
Tamarillos?
So here I've got a Fijian red papaya, and these are pretty easy to get going from seed. This one, it looks like it's not fully ripe, unfortunately, but let's take some of the seeds out anyway, and we'll clean these off. So they sort of have like this capsule of jelly around the seeds that stops them from sprouting within the fruit. So I'm just rubbing the seeds on a paper towel to remove the jelly sac from around the seeds. Next, I'm just placing these seeds onto some moist potting soil, and I'm just doing 4 seeds per pot because they are fresh seeds, so they should sprout pretty reliably. If you want though, you can put way more seeds in and then just thin them out later by cutting them off at the base. So now that I've covered the seeds over and watered them, I'm placing these on a heat mat as well to speed up the germination, and I'm also placing a plastic container over the top to act as a mini greenhouse. These took about 2 weeks to start sprouting, so this is them at 3 weeks old, and 3 out of the 4 of the seeds have sprouted in each pot. And these are just their little seed leaves, so next they'll start sprouting their true leaves, and those look really cool, so I'll definitely show you once those have come up. So 7 weeks after planting the seeds, this is how they look, and all of the seeds we planted have sprouted now. Really happy with that, and I'm now just going to transplant them into their own pots. From what I've heard, these don't like a lot of root disturbance, so I'm just taking a bit of soil with each plant and doing my best not to damage the roots. I'm planning just to keep these in pots for now because, of course, papaya are tropical plants, so they can't handle the frost and cold temperatures that we get here, so I'll just have to bring these inside during the winter to keep them protected. So this is how the papaya trees are looking now, and they're still growing fairly slowly for their age. In a tropical climate, which is not what we have here, these will grow extremely fast and can fruit from seed in less than a year, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
They just need lots of warmth, lots of sun, really good free draining soil, and lots of water as well. But here I've just had these sheltered inside during the winter. Obviously they haven't had a huge amount of sun, so that's totally cool. You know, if you don't live somewhere tropical, then there's nothing stopping you growing these as a beautiful little indoor tree, or you could potentially grow them to maturity in a greenhouse and see how you do with that. If you want to grow these actually for the fruit, do just make sure you grow multiple plants though, because you get male plants and female plants, and you need at least one of each in order for cross-pollination. Sometimes you will get a hermaphrodite, which will have both male and female flowers on the same plant, but yeah, it's just a good idea to grow multiple plants so that you can make sure you get that cross-pollination before creating a beautiful papaya.
Florida has
Kiwi fruit vines are pretty easy to get started from seed, and from what I've read, they take at least 3 to 5 years to start producing fruit. I'm going to be growing these red flesh kiwi fruit, which look really cool, and they have a slight berry flavour to them. Just like many of the other fruits we started, we're just extracting the seeds in a sieve, and then getting a pot of moist soil and scattering the seeds on the surface. And after lightly covering them with some soil, I'm just giving them a spray with some water to avoid displacing the seeds too much. I'm putting these in a nice warm spot to germinate, and just covering these with a lid as well, just to help keep that surface soil nice and moist. After 5 weeks, these should be sprouting, and I find these seeds to sprout really reliably, so you don't need to sow as many seeds as I did
Oh,
here.
he might
But
be
if you do have this
Australian
many, you can always thin them
or
out to reduce the competition.
Australia.
I found these don't do too
Or
well if you transplant them
New
at this size,
Zealand.
so you'd be best to just thin them out a bit and wait till they get their first true leaves before you then transplant them. I accidentally killed my first batch of tiny seedlings by leaving them in the cold, but these ones here are a new batch that I started, and at this stage they're 7 months old and looking really nice. You do need to grow quite a few of these plants to get fruit because each plant is either male or female, so you need at least one of each in order to get fruit. In winter, these lose their leaves and become dormant, and at that stage they can handle quite cold winter frost, but they do need some protection from frost in the spring and the autumn. Kiwi fruit are quite a large vine plant, so they do need something to grow up, and they need a decent amount of space. And as well as that, they need good protection from wind, and they do best in well-drained, fertile soils with good amounts of moisture year-round, particularly in the summer when it's a bit drier. They don't grow true to type, so the fruit you get might be a bit different to the one you started with, although you should still get a nice tasting fruit. And otherwise, if you do have access to a particular variety, you can always graft that variety onto your seedlings to get the variety that you want. For me, growing fruits from seed has been more than just the end result of getting a cool plant or tasting its fruit. You know, from doing this, I've learned so much more about plants and, you know, different ways you can start seeds, different growing requirements for each plant, and I've also learned how to graft fruit trees now, which is really cool. And my passion for growing plants and growing my own food really did just start from a tiny little seed and the curiosity I had about it. So, what are you going to grow today?
I do not eat the kiwi peel. No way.
I'm back at the original.
Oh my god, this is a cottage garden tour. Hold on. I'm looking up the Tarmayo plant. I've never seen this. Where do they grow? What? Interesting.
Cottage garden is the site of the classic suburban homestead videos, and I want to share with you exactly how the place changed in the last 2 years. Now, this is where my mother still lives, so I've been back and forth, and the place has shifted from a more utilitarian, almost food forest or wild edible garden into more of a colorful English cottage garden, still on the wild side, obviously. I think you'll really enjoy seeing how it changed throughout the season. I do invite you to watch until the end because I have a few questions, some opinions I need from you. I need feedback to understand exactly where to take the new videos on this channel. As you know, I've changed strategies this year, creating more in-depth history of vegetable documentaries. I want to know exactly what are the things that you resonate the most with, and perhaps what other things I should think about. But before we get there, I hope you sit back, relax.
I feel like, for some reason, I think I love kiwis, and I used to eat them so much as a kid. But I feel like I used to get, like, kind of that itchy, like, feeling in your mouth from them. That's, like, when you are allergic to a fruit. I really hope I'm not. I'm still going to eat kiwis. But I think I might be allergic to them, unless you all get that itchy feeling in your mouth.
I enjoy seeing how this place has changed throughout the season. Back here in June to the original cottage garden. This is my mother's house, and as you can see, things have changed, but some things are the same. We've tried to put more flowers here in the curb. This is one of the original lavenders from the video where I show sprouting lavender.
Everyone.
The other ones, they succumb to all the shady conditions because this garden is actually a little bit more shady than ideal. So the grapevine is still here. It's mostly ornamental because it does get black spot, which is typical here in the eastern seaboard, unless you spray with the Bordeaux mixture, which I personally don't care to spray too much. It does make a nice garland. As we enter, we see that things are still about to be bloomy. This variety doesn't always bloom, but this year, because the winter wasn't as bad, some of the buds have survived. That's because hydrangeas, they bloom on terminal buds, at least some of the most traditional varieties, the ones that grow especially in southern states. I should probably change this bush for perhaps an endless summer brand. As you can see here, there's a cicada. That's because we're in the 17th-year cicada brood. They might be starting to subside at this point, but the noise was intolerable a few weeks ago. Black-eyed Susans are about to bloom, so this view here is going to change. We see some cicada damage here in the crepey myrtle. It can be an unwieldy or fast-growing tree. I've kept it trimmed so that it would keep its shape, so it's a little bit more sparse this time, but once it blooms, I think it's going to be a beautiful sight once more. And it's going to be fine with the cicada damage. It shouldn't be a problem. We've painted some of the remaining structures, and I really like this blue, and I don't know if you can see, but there's some chicory in the background that's also blue. That's been flowering, and it just picks up on that color in the morning. Some ornamental plants here, Madonna lilies that will be blooming, and the centerpiece is the blueberries, which are packed, absolutely packed. They've been growing perhaps for 12, almost 15 years, and I bought them when they were still very small plantlets. I think I paid $5 for each plant, and I did buy a few varieties, so they always pollinate really well, and they loved this place. There is a bit of cicada damage, which I found out that they love to suck the sap on the young tender parts, so I don't know if this is going to be bad for the plant because it was so heavily laden, but it has been a very reliable producer. Just look at how heavy laden it is, and some of it is even falling in the ground. You can see that the garden path is still here. It's looking now even more like it's always been here, even though from day one it already had a bit of that character. This area is going to be very colorful, more of a riot of color. Some dahlias and asters, which I'm looking forward to seeing them bloom. There's some cosmos also should cover this area. I had some sweet peas. They did grow. They're a bit hit and miss here in Maryland. The weather is so changeable for it to be a reliable bloomer. In any case, I have also my usual zinnias, also grown from seed. Most of the things are grown from seed. I prefer to grow from seed because I think they grow best, even though it does take more time, and it's also obviously cheaper. Here is where plants decide to grow, like the black-eyed Susan. It just invaded the path and I just let it do its thing, and it's absolutely beautiful. Before, I used to have a lot of black-eyed Susans over on the other side, and if you remember the classic shots of Suburban Homestead, that's what you would see on this side here. But slowly, as both the crepe myrtle grew and the trees on the other side grew to block the path of the afternoon sun, they've diminished in size and almost got a little bit more of a black spot on the leaf. I don't know if it's a disease of some sort, a fungal disease, as you can see here on the lower leaves. It is a native plant. It's actually the symbol of Maryland. You would expect that they would be a little bit more resilient, but you know, can't complain. Some of the birdhouses starting to rot out. Things are changing. I wanted to incorporate more of the irises on this side, but it might be a little bit too shady for that to happen.
Where are all the
and they continue to be on
flowers?
this side,
He clickbaited
classic
us.
side where I always show them. And one thing I brought back was sweet alyssum. They enliven the path. They're very versatile plants that you should grow from seed. They're easy to grow. You can see here in this birdhouse there's a dead cicada as they approach their final stage of life after reproducing. It's kind of sad, but also is interesting to go through the 17-year cycle of the cicada. I planted more basil on this side here. Some of the more dense planting here, which mixes edibles like basil and arugula.
It's not back
wild
to
rocket
normal.
that's flowering.
We can do 2 times for this video though.
Fennel. Look at the sun shining in. I just love this. In some respects, this view is even more beautiful than in classic days of the Suburban Homestead videos, if you remember. As we go in here to the porch, it's the same bench as always. We just painted a fresh color that matches the tutors. One of the pots here has
I don't like the
dianthus
color
I actually planted back in the day.
painting.
Remember the wild strawberries? They absolutely love this
blue.
spot. I'm gonna get some of the runners from here and plant it all over my garden because they're delicious and very prolific. They don't stop producing, unlike other strawberries are actually ever bearing. I'm in the process of shaping this. Perhaps it's gonna be a chicken or a duck. I don't know. But finally, it's the first time I'm cutting the box. We'll see what happens. Here we see some lavender grown from seed. Using the technique, it has worked pretty well. Let's just take a quick look over on the side. Flowers of the chicory. I love chicory. It's such a delicious plant when tender, or when you're able to force it. You harvest it in fall,
Wait
and
until
then
we get to it.
all throughout the spring, and now it's looking
I
flower.
honestly hate the little like statues he has that are painted bright blue. I think it ruins the whole vibe. I think it does. I think it's distracting and I think it's ugly. I love everything else except for those.
Because we want more seed to grow.
Those things. I hate them. I hate them so much. They bother me so much. It would just look so much better if they didn't exist. Just use natural. You know what I mean? I hate
raw
them.
and also cooked. A lot has changed on the side. I've dismantled a lot of what we had here because then I do have to cut the grass. So look at the wild weeds over here. The thing is that it was too much to take care for, and not being here all the time, I had to diminish and concentrate the garden, which in some ways I think made the garden be more beautiful where it is.
Look at them. They're ruining it. They're ruining the whole vibes.
The most interesting aspect of this tiny garden.
And this guy is so like he understands like art and everything, and he has those like
is the rapid and complete yearly transformation it goes through as summer approaches.
Like, look at them. They just like distract. Ugh.
Since most perennial plants here are herbaceous, the spring solidifies into summer. The magic of overnight growth flushes out
I couldn't stand it. I tried to hold myself backtrack. I tried. Every time we saw it, I was like, wow, beautiful. And I'd point out everything I liked about it, but I can't anymore. They're so ugly. Why are they bright blue? They're actually, it's terrible. And they look stupid. They look so stupid. I get it. He wants like a stick for the plants to go on. But really, you know what would look better than this stupid pyramid that's painted bright, like distracting, unnatural blue? A fucking stick in the ground would do do fucking way better than this.
Twigs.
Also, he talked about how in this one, when he was building it, he said he wanted to like make a fence and stuff. Why are you pairing a chain link fence with wood anyway? A wooden fence, a wooden picket fence would look so much better. Or paint it green. No, this whole thing is terrible. A natural wood brown and not this shape. and a stick in the ground is all you need.
It brings in volume as plants soak the increasing sunlight.
Or
early spring here is
paint it white and have a nice white picket fence. I don't mind.
Populated by showy bulbs, the real flower parade happens near to the solstice, when all kinds of annuals and some perennials take advantage of every square inch of space and light to put on a show. If each flower that blooms is a note, each day the garden sings in the chamber, forming ever complex harmonies, and at times, cacophony.
Get out of here!
Nature abhors a vacuum.
Ah! And see, wow. Okay.
It's the middle of July. We're back in the garden here. I'm going to show the transformations that have occurred since. We can already have a sneak peek here with the black-eyed Susans. They are finally growing well in this spot. And there's some Queen Anne's lace that have happened to grace the garden over here. You can see here through the fence, there's a bunch of dahlias there. That's quite a spectacle. And the grapes, although they have been afflicted by the brown spot, there's still plenty of fruit. We'll see come August how many actually ripen. I've planted some morning glory. This is supposed to be the split-second morning glory. It has pink pom-poms, and if everything goes to plan, this fence here will be covered by them. Creepy myrtle is just starting to bud out, and there's two flowers over there, so it's going to be quite a spectacle. Look at how this view is already much more lively than even the strangers are bloomy, but the stars are now. It's this. Look at this. Very much like an English cottage garden. The gladioli is spectacular. I got the bulbs from a friend several years ago, and they've ebbed and flowed in the garden with some years, a few of them coming up, other years, lots of them dying. Look at how much more lively the scene is. And it's going to get better, I think, as the summer progresses. The asters are amazing, and I still don't understand why I haven't really grown asters previous to this. And look at the dahlias. Total transformation.
Beautiful.
See Alyssum taking over, more dahlias in the background, bees, bumblebees. Sweet peas are still some stragglers. They are forming pods. Just remember, sweet peas are poisonous, so don't try to eat them. They're also hairy pods, so I doubt anybody would want to eat them. Anyways, cosmos can really fill up the spot with color. I have enjoyed the effect that this blue paint over the towers have made, and now I'm thinking of perhaps painting all the structures in the other house also with some kind of color. We'll see.
No!
More gladioli.
No! No! Why would he say that? Why would he say that? I hate them. If you're watching this, Cottage Garden Man, don't paint your natural wood bright, ugly blue. Listen, he's an artist. He understands colors and color theories and tones and stuff. Why is he picking that ugly, disgusting color? I hate it. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. It's ruining the entire vibes of everything. No, he's gonna paint a fucking neon blue. It's literally the worst thing ever. Maybe like a bright red or like a hot pink would be terrible too. Just don't paint it! Stop it! Ah!
Also with
might as well be orange for real.
Let's turn over here. More gladioli.
Like honestly.
Stargazer and Donna lilies. Look at this. Zinnias are starting to come up, so I suspect
like, it's ruining
in a
it.
few
It's ruining
weeks,
the whole garden.
It's gonna be lots of zinnias.
He loves it though.
And
it's
lots
his favorite
more cosmos.
thing.
I do have to
You know what?
them, so they keep
If he loves it, fine. I, for one, really hate those fucking triangles. I hate it.
Juicy. It's really about the dahlias and the asters this year. The gladioli are not losing their place either. So if you want to create a cottage look, you have to plant things so that you don't actually see the ground. It has to be a mass of plantings. That's how a successful cottage garden looks. And as you can see, the disease that has afflicted these black-eyed Susans, some kind of a fungal brown spot or black spot, has afflicted them. And the more
I don't
closer
think
they
the
are
chain
to
link
this
fence
tree,
is
the
cottage
more
vibes
damage
either.
there is.
Look,
Before this area
the iron fence over here, pretty. A wood fence, pretty. The chain link, not cottage core.
Gradually. I think this aster.
Everything else is so pretty though.
The spot is planted in a pot together with some other plants.
That bench, hideous.
It's quite a romantic view, let's confess. Sets up the garden really well. Let's quickly go to the other side. And the begonias are performing as expected. Cucumbers, we've gotten a few cucumbers, but some of the vines are starting to die.
Cottage garden wouldn't have blue pyramids.
Beetles. Now look at this. Look at all these.
He loves it too. He loves the.
Quite a spectacle.
Look, there's
although to the beetles.
Wait.
Now look at this. Look at all these.
I'm looking at it. Look at this natural wood. See, that's cottage core right there. That's what you want. You want natural wood. You don't need to paint it. And if you paint it, paint it white.
Although
you know
to this disheveled look, it can bring in color in the morning. And as a last view, let's look back.
To hide it. It's ruining it.
I'll go upstairs and show you some.
It's distracting me from the beautiful flowers. All I can look at is that hideous, terrible blue.
Because it's quite the view when you see all this color from the attic window.
And everything else is so
Here it
nice.
is from the top.
It's just upsetting. He zooms into it. He loves it.
It's almost like an abstract painting of sorts. Spots of color.
Yeah, abstract. Okay, sure.
Really
if that's what you're going for.
Blue blooms. Unfortunately, they die off as the sun starts to heat up. So they'll last a little bit more in an overcast day. Otherwise, they just shrivel and die.
He loves it! Every shot! It has to be to the pyramid!
Cottage garden, it needs the element of time. As seasons pass, the taller perennials get established, and the gardener learns the lay of the land intimately. That's how a garden can achieve its full potential.
Middle.
It is almost impossible to get this full effect within just one season. As I've tended this patch of land for more than a decade, I slowly shaped the taller tree, the blueberry bushes, and the vines to frame out the growing space, giving the armature necessary to support the ever-changing annual flowers. Being open to the unexpected is also part of the game. We can't force a garden to submit to our notions of absolute neatness in order without it feeling contrived.
Yeah, exactly.
I suppose I resonate so much with wilder cottage gardens because they harken back to more natural, untended landscapes that dazzle through their effortless.
Ironic, considering you have these what's a word to describe something that's like obnoxious and invasive? Yeah, natural, right? Everything else, look, cover it with your hands, chat. Beautiful garden. Uncover. Obtrusive. Yeah, maybe is that a word? That's the word. Obtrusive. Abominations. Honestly, cover it, chat. Take your hands, okay, if you're on your screen, or your fingers if you're on your computer, and cover them. And wow, it looks like nice. Like, this is a beautiful garden. Like, there's flowers everywhere, like every length and stuff. Uncover. It's ugly. It sucks. No.
By the middle of summer, the garden was bursting at the seams with color, invading the interiors of this old house with the reflected lights of blooms.
And that tree hanging down, it's beautiful.
This feast for the eyes and for hungry pollinators reached its apex. The shift in color palette serves as a metronome to the passing year. If at first the garden was dominated by cool pinks and some purples,
that's my favorite thing in the whole garden.
The warm tone yellows and oranges and reds took center stage, counterpointed by the still cool but equally vibrant pinks of cloud-like crepey myrtle blooms. I knew that all this excessive color would soon fade away, and this midsummer night's dream would have...
Perfect. Love the grapes over here. Love this tree hanging down. Not a huge fan of that bench back there, but at least that's the only bright shit blue.
Evaporate only to be remembered in ever-fading memory.
Ah!
But while it lasted, the dream was the truth, solid and eternal.
Ah! I love that window. It's really nice.
The beginning of August in the garden is a bit past its peak, but it's at that glorious time when you see still a lot of blooms. Of course, the crepey myrtle is the showstopper, but black-eyed Susans are
okay. At least the plants are growing around it now. You can see it's a true
cottage garden, a bit on the wild side, as all cottage gardens should ideally be. And if we go out here, you can see that the grapes are starting to ripen, the ones that were able to survive the black spot disease.
Sticks, honestly.
And here's some
of the plants trying to cover them up.
As I talked about previously.
They don't like them either. They're not happy.
They haven't quite covered this side of the fence as I would hope, but that's because it's not that sunny. And plants just like to find the sun. That's what they do in life. This side has developed quite nicely. All the Queen Anne's lace, which I didn't think they would flower this year, since they are biennials, they have developed and has really framed up the view of the garden. And I don't think it has ever looked this cottage garden-esque. Look at this. As you come here, you see all the zinnias.
You know why it looks very cottage garden-esque? Because these things are hidden by the plants. This one's not. This one needs to go. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Of course, lilies and gladiola have already died, but that's part of the process. Chicory, I just cut it down. But this corner of the garden is quite nice also. This basil, since it has all these reddish flowers, very decorative, and it's super scented also. Here's the morning glory, the different fracture type, and the black-eyed Susan vine, quite nice. Nasturtiums also have taken the place of pride in the garden at this point. Overall, success.
Beautiful, love it.
Let's continue here. We'll see.
Honestly, for me, I can't lie. It honestly is a little bit much for me. I like the cottage thing, but like the fact that you can't walk through all of it, you know what I mean? It's a little bit too much.
Center a cottage garden around an entrance or pathways or arbors, places of passing through into rooms. And the asters are about to die. Of course, we listens are producing as reliably.
A trail, right?
Not as picturesque. That's because of the shade.
I think it's straight up ugly. Yeah, honestly, the thing is, it does need a path. He's had it where it looks so nice.
One thing to remember is that shade in gardens,
it does look messy. That's what I'm saying. It looks messy, and there's
especially gardens of flowers sometimes don't mix. And as we end here, we'll see the okra is fine.
Honestly, I was thinking his neighbors must think that like it's just trashed and just overgrown and stuff. He really let that place go. Add a little trim. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with having a little trim. He showed examples of beautiful cottage gardens, and they weren't like completely overgrown. It does look abandoned. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, starting to grow up.
Like Like, what happened to him?
I hope you have enjoyed this garden tour through the season. I will show you images of how the
This
garden
is-
continues
I
changing
love that
as I
shit,
ask you a few
though.
things. As you know, this year I took a different approach to my gardening videos. I created these more elaborate garden documentaries, and if you haven't had a chance to check them out, I invite you to go see them. I have 3 so far, and they're in-depth looks into both the cultural and agricultural history of a certain vegetable. This is a rather unconventional way of approaching a
These are
gardening
my
video. It
opinions.
is closer to the way I personally think about things, getting facts here and there, and creating this bigger story from them. And
I need your opinion. Get rid of those ugly ass triangles. And make a pathway through it all. A little stone pebbles, maybe some cobblestone, maybe some stone bricks. Lay around a little. You can make it windy, you know, but make it so you can walk through the whole garden without trampling your beautiful flowers. And then, yeah, make it less fucking ugly. Clean it up. Come on. More trees. That's what it needs. It needs another tree on the other side to balance it out. Come on, think about symmetry and balance. You're the one that talks about the themes of art or whatever, and art and stuff. Honestly, my Animal Crossing training, I would do great at decorating the fucking garden. It needs a tree on the other side. And yeah, it does. It definitely needs a tree on the other side. Balance. Look at it. It's like this. It's like this. This is how it's like. It's like, whoa, big viney thing here, and then flat. Like the other side, it's like you really like the left side, but you completely ignored the right side. And do you know why you completely ignored the right side? Because I have a theory. It's because you don't have a fucking path to take you to the right side, so you can't even get there to do anything. Add a little path, make a tree, a swing, seems cottagecore. Add a big tree with a branch and a swing on the branch. Cute. You don't need to have it overgrowing like it's trashed. You can make it look nice, and in the wintertime, it looked trash. Like, are you kidding me? I was so mad when I saw it like this. This looks like someone who doesn't care about their property.
all the shady conditions because...
And their garden. They don't care about their garden, and they want it to look a mess. A fountain! A swinging bench, yes! A little koi fish pond. I don't know. Bird feeders. Yes! Give the animals something. Come on, share your environment with the people that enjoy it, or the animals that enjoy it. You know what I mean? And get rid of those stupid fucking blue pyramids! They're terrible! Next video.
Penelope, do you have any?
I interviewed more animals with a tiny mic.
Thoughts on the current state of the U.S. economy? Hello, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Tiny Mike. I know a lot of people are excited for these to come back. I'm really excited for these to be back. All the animals except for this one in the video.
I thought I didn't know that.
Are from a permitted facility in California. They are not pets. They are educational ambassadors, and they're used to teach people about conservation, which is really, really cool. They're all rescued. They're non-releasable. If you would like to go support that organization, it is Zoo to You. I have them linked in my description. Big thank you to them for letting me do this again. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Like and subscribe. Thanks. Tiny Mike is back. Hooray! Sydney, what's the nicest way to greet somebody?
Probably not the nicest way, honestly.
Pixel, what is 2 + 7? Okay. Giggles. What do you call an American bee? A USB.
You thought it was funny.
Root, can you tell them how old you are? No. Alright, thanks. Ruby, what's your favorite snack?
Cool. Want to be interviewed too?
How's your water, Sid? Good. Penelope, can you rate this beach?
Pretty good.
Giggles, are you excited about Tiny Mike?
Oh, his name is Giggles. Giggles is funny. He thinks
me too.
That's the best one.
Tucker, what's your favorite thing about
reaction? Tesla, what's your favorite thing about
Cool, thanks. Sid, what makes you the most happy?
Me.
Okay.
Curtis, how do you stay so happy all the time?
Oh my god, it's Chris Connor. Oh. Aw.
Great, thanks. Blue, what's your favorite thing about bath time?
Moisturized.
Cool, thank you. Giggles, what do sprinters eat before a marathon? Nothing. They fast.
He didn't like that one as much.
He hated it. Oreo, how do you feel when people call you scary? Yeah, I get it, man. Sultan, do you have any advice for people that are shy? Okay, sorry, thank you.
Oh,
Sid, what is your coffee order?
Latte.
Okay. Curtis, what would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Matilda, how do you feel about being Stompy's brother? Okay.
I went to an emu zoo one time.
Aurora, what's your favorite thing about America?
A bald eagle. Yeah, they would say that.
What you thinking about? Okay. Freya, as an old lady, what advice do you have to give to the young people?
That's not true. I'm never gonna wake up with the wings.
Thank you.
Eat up! Oh my god, she ate. Wait, she actually
Thanks.
ate.
Tyson, how does it make you feel when people call you scary? Maxwell, how does it feel? Root. Whoa! Bert, how has it been since you retired?
Okay.
Root, what do you want to... Whoa. Hold on.
Root's busy.
Okay.
Root's having fun. Tiger Ninja.
Root, what do you think about this rap? Oh. Take the rat. Take the rat. Oh,
Alright, now we're on.
Each class...
I don't want to watch. I want to watch more.
Hi,
1 year alone restoring an abandoned small holding. What? Abandoned small holding. Alright, let's
Harriet.
watch it.
1 year ago, I packed up all my things, left my husband behind in the city, and came to live here, an abandoned small holding in the hills of eastern Spain. I had my dog and my laptop, but I didn't have any furniture, running water, tools, heating, or basically anything else. 1 year later, things have changed a lot. In this video, I'm going to show you everything I did over the year, turning these 4 acres of abandoned land into the homestead of our dreams. When I moved here in September, we'd actually owned this farmstead for about 6 months, and in that time we'd managed to get a small solar setup installed, we'd cleared the house of junk, and we'd done a fair bit of land clearance, so now we could actually see what we'd bought. When I first moved here, we had no furniture in the house, so I stayed in a semi-converted van that some friends had conveniently parked on our land. I was working full-time remotely online, so I cleaned up a little table that had been in the house previously, put it in the upstairs room, and started doing my job from there. My plan was to spend every spare hour I had in the evenings and weekends working on the house and the land, trying to make it more livable. You might have thought getting some furniture was my first priority, but actually the first thing I did was make mosquito netting windows for all the windows and doors, because whilst working I was being eaten alive by mozzies and it was just driving me mad, and that just felt like the biggest priority at the time. I had literally never stuck 2 pieces of wood together before and could probably count the number of holes I drilled in my life on one hand, so this job took me a while, and the end result was kind of wonky, but when it was done, being in the house was a lot better, and 1 year later, those mosquito blinds are still serving us well. After that, I did turn my attention to the furniture. We like to buy or find things secondhand wherever we can, so I scoured Wallapop for good deals on furniture and ended up finding a house clearance taking place in a nearby village. The house was a treasure trove of antique, traditional furniture, agricultural equipment, and other random odds and ends. And if I could, I would have bought the entire contents, but our house is very small, so I left with a sofa and chair set, a wardrobe, a coffee table, and a bunch of cool stuff like these demi-johns and this wash basin, which I had all the intentions in the world of using to wash our clothes and has ended up as a place where we dump random pieces of rubbish. I also bought a bed and a mattress, and I made a little set of shelves to put my books on. And I put up a couple of little clothes racks as well so that I could hang my clothes, since the enormous wardrobe that I bought didn't actually fit up the stairs into the bedroom. As September turned to October, the temperature began to drop, especially in the nights, and my biggest priority then became preparing for the winter ahead. I hadn't anticipated how chilly the stone house was going to feel, even fairly early in the year in October, so I soon realised that I needed a wood-burning stove. This meant cleaning up the hearth area, which was basically just compacted dirt, and it was very dirty and dusty and not really suitable for using. I laid a brick base and smoothed over all the cracks in the walls with cement. I painted the inside, and I bought a stove, which we somehow managed to get into the fireplace. But a stove alone is no good without something to burn, so we built a little shelter to store all the wood we intended to buy. We bought the wood, we put it in the shelter, and then we were finally able to light the stove and have a nice toasty evening in our little house, which was slowly starting to feel more like a home.
Oh my god, she cooks stuff in there too.
As the winter progressed, I really struggled to get much done whilst I was here on my own working all day. The days were short and the light was pretty much gone by the time I finished on my laptop. At weekends, my husband came to visit and we did get a few things done, like repainting our little terrace, tiling the storeroom floor, and harvesting a lot of canes so that they could dry over the spring and be ready to use in the garden the following year. We had a few visitors and we did a few nice little garden projects like planting broad beans and making these little planters out of old tyres. We went on a lot of dog walks, exploring the local area, and began making friends with our neighbours. In December, I started the first big project that I really tackled on my own, and I decided to fix our water situation. I took a week off work to do this because I just couldn't see how I could possibly get it done otherwise. I had to replace a pipe which came from a natural spring and carried water to our land. This was our irrigation water, which was supposed to flow into several storage deposits along the way and end up in one final huge deposit right by the house. This deposit had been empty and looking really sad and depressing for a long time, and I had a dream of getting this deposit full of water again and making it into a kind of wild pond type space, but the first step was fixing the 300 metres of piping and clearing out all the deposits.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in today.
That looks kind of gross.
I'm trying to make this darkness go away. I'll paint with colors and I'll sing until my lungs give out. I'm gonna let the sun shine in today. I will leave our windows open so that I can hear the sound of people talking, the wind blowing in the trees.
I did actually manage to fix all the piping in the week, and the deposits all slowly began filling up again with water. We now have 60,000 litres of water storage available, which is constantly refilling. Over the following spring, I added lots of plants and fish to our big deposit as well, and it is now a beautiful wildlife haven just as I imagined. The water is clear, free of algae and mosquitoes, and it attracts all sorts of insects, birds, amphibians, and even reptiles. I think fixing the water really unlocked everything else in this project, and I started the new year with so much energy and enthusiasm to start working on the land, something I hadn't really felt able to do until I was sure we could access irrigation water. In January, I pruned most of our olive trees, and I also started digging a number of garden beds in the fields closest to the house and closest to our big water deposit, which I'd earmarked as our first kitchen garden area. It was a space where I wanted to grow veg intensively and basically just learn as much as I could about growing food for ourselves in this climate. We had water, but I wasn't totally sure how to use it. I did some experiments with flood irrigation and also with drip irrigation. As the months went on, I started more seedlings, and I got more beds to accommodate them, and slowly the garden began to take shape. Meanwhile, I was also improving the outdoor shower area, which was actually just a bag full hanging from a tree, and with Mallory's help, we also made a proper composting toilet to replace the bucket we've been using before. Talking of compost, I started a wormery and also lots of compost piles over the last year or so, and the first pile we started was beginning to look like it was pretty much done, so that was exciting. In February, we celebrated a year since we bought the land. We had a little party and all our local friends came. They helped us put up a big bell tent which we were planning to use to begin to welcome visitors. We planted a few trees and we cooked a rather dubious paella, and just generally reflected on how far we'd come in that last year. I felt so grateful for all the lovely people we've become friends with along the way. As the hardest, darkest weeks of winter began to draw to a close and first signs of spring appeared, I began to feel a little bit overwhelmed with how much I wanted to do in the coming year, and how little I felt I'd been able to achieve over the winter beyond basic survival. In March, we made two major changes. I left my job to work full-time on the homestead, and to save money, we gave up the flat that we'd previously been renting in the city where Mallory was working. Instead, we went to live with his parents, and we brought everything from the flat to the homestead, which was a squeeze, but it was great to have everything finally under one roof. Feel a little bit more like this was really our home. Suddenly, now I wasn't working, I had so much more time available, and the first thing I did was build us a proper bathroom with a hot shower and a sink. This was actually a huge leap in terms of complexity and skill for me, as I'd never done anything like this before, and I made my fair share of mistakes, but I eventually figured it all out. The end result made such a huge difference to our comfort here, and became absolutely indispensable as the days warmed up, and I got increasingly sweatier and dirtier by just doing general work on the farm. I was always so grateful to be able to end the day with a pressurised indoor shower at a temperature of my choosing, so that was a really good job to have done. Despite getting the bathroom done and now having all the free time in the world, it rained pretty much constantly, and I found myself unable to do very much at all, apart from shelter indoors. It was really frustrating, but things began to pick up and look brighter again when my mum came to stay for 6 weeks. The weather really brightened up, and we did a lot of work outside. The kitchen garden was beginning to take shape. We dug lots of extra beds, worked on the carping between the beds, got lots of seedlings in the ground, and sowed lots more. Now it was dry, we'd also work on improving our solar setup. During the grey weeks, I struggled with power here on my own, so as well as reluctantly buying a generator, we added 2 more panels to our solar array and changed the angles so that they would work more efficiently. With help from our workshop group, I also built a chicken coop and run made with recycled pallets and began raising our first set of eggs.
Yay!
Around Easter time, we also started learning more about natural building, which was something we've been interested in for a long time. We went to stay for a few nights at the Freedom Farm in Aragon and learned about working with cob. We came home and Maura made our first mud and brick stove, which was partially successful, but really a great initial learning experience. Our eggs hatched, and we got a pair of nanny goats to add to our farm, which was kind of unexpected and resulted in me having to put up an electric fence in record time, but I got it done and we welcomed our new, lovely, noisy ladies to our homestead with the hope of having them in milk next year. We bought some more live hens since only one of our eggs hatched, rehanged a cockerel from a friend, and now have a healthy flock of 6 chickens who are currently giving us 2 or 3 eggs a day. We also rescued 2 kittens, one of whom immediately had a litter of kittens. We raised the kittens, found a new home for them, sterilised the cats, adopted a new puppy, and no, that's it for animals. Meanwhile, I was mostly working on the garden at this point. My living arrangements felt pretty comfortable, and the biggest priority to me at this point felt like experimenting and learning as much as I could.
Making pyramids, but those pyramids looked a little more natural, so they're okay.
This homestead for us is to be as resilient as possible against whatever the future might bring. So learning to grow and preserve our own food and manage our land in a sustainable, closed-loop kind of way is really the key to this. I tried all sorts of things in a very scattergun approach this year, from imported manure to green manures, cover crops, different mulches, different varieties of plants and vegetables. It's all been just such a lot of fun, and of course I've been documenting this whole journey on YouTube as well, which also began to take up more of my time since I stopped working my normal job. With the summer garden all in the ground and growing nicely, there was still plenty of land management type jobs to do.
Did you see? I don't want to go back, but did you see how her pyramids looked natural and they blended into the natural environment and they weren't painted bright neon blue? Did you guys notice that?
Grew taller and began to dry. As the days got longer and drier, I trimmed all of our fields and even uncovered a number of fruit trees I didn't know we had. As the season progressed, I started doing more jobs like seed saving and preserving. I really love these jobs because they really are the reward for all your hard work, and it feels really good to be putting away jars of food or seeds for the future. It's also very convenient that as the months get hotter and hotter and working outside becomes more challenging, you actually have less to do in the fields and more work to do in the shade in the kitchen, which is definitely where you want to be when it's 40 degrees outside. Despite it getting very hot as summer drew on, there actually were some pressing outdoor jobs that I still wanted to get done for the winter, so I had to start working on those. In July, I organised a long weekend of communal cobbing. We invited some friends and neighbours to help us cob the outside of a new goat shelter that we were building in preparation for the winter. We'd already built the frame with pallets and experimented with a few techniques, and over the course of 4 days, with the help of lots of extra pairs of hands, we made significant progress on the build. Over the following weeks, we managed to get the roof on, and we now need to finish cobbing on the inside and put up the actual fencing for the new goat enclosure. Meanwhile, we continued working on improving our general living conditions. We salvaged an oven which some friends were going to throw away, we scavenged and cleaned more items of furniture which we found in skips, and we worked sporadically on our internal wiring. We now have a few plug sockets and light bulbs in crucial places, but for the most part,
it's awesome to see someone live like this, but I could never live like this. Like I'm really enjoying watching everyone live naturally off the land themselves, growing their own food, like preserving it, having animals, building their house and everything. But yeah, I'm not doing that shit.
Using extension leads to get power around the house. We also began to improve the teepee. I moved the teepee onto a new base of sand so that it would be flat, did a bit of landscaping around the outside, and built some furniture for the inside. We're now really happy with how it's looking, and have been able to provide a decent place to sleep when visitors come and stay. As we passed the height of summer, the garden really exploded. I can't believe how much this abandoned field has changed over the last year. Well, really just the last 6 months.
If it means I didn't have to work a job, I think I would. Well, she's working a job too. They're both working a job and doing all of this. Are you kidding me? I would go crazy living in that environment.
Making my first garden from scratch taught me so much, and I still have so much more to learn, but now I feel like I've got more of a clue about how to manage our land and generally what direction I want to go in. By the end of August, it was time to start on some of the big harvests, almonds, arabs and grapes. For these big harvests, it's common and much easier to work in a group, so we spent many days rotating around our circle of friends, helping each other out with their harvests and sharing the results. We're still in the process of that, so we haven't actually processed our harvest yet, but we're really excited to make our first batch of wine this year and feed our goats for free with all the carob we picked. It's now mid-September, and it's been a whole year since I moved here on my own. We've got so much still to do, we always will, but our abandoned farm is looking less abandoned by the day. I can't remember the last time we bought a vegetable from the shop, and I've learned so many skills this year and done so many things I never thought I'd be able to do. But you know what, the best thing about the last year hasn't been anything we've done on the farmstead. In fact, it hasn't actually got anything to do with the farm at all. Honestly, I think the best thing, the most kind of revolutionary thing, which has really made a difference in my life, has been falling in love with the place where we live. With all its imperfections, its problems, its challenges, people who live here, the way things are done here. Making a commitment to a small little place in the world and saying, this is my place, I'm going to stay here and just try and do to the best I can. To go on a walk and know the name of every tree and wildflower that you pass. I truly believe that as humans we are meant to know our surroundings intimately and to kind of be one with them. And when we're not, we feel isolated, detached and kind of adrift. We're built to care about the world we inhabit, and when we do love that world, it loves us back and we feel happier and more at peace.
I want to have a vegetable garden, a small one.
Well, I think that's it for this video. Thank you for watching it. I've had a lot of fun putting it together and get back on everything we've done over the last year. Thank you if you...
Now let's watch...
I moved to Thailand. If you guys
Rainbow. I moved to Thailand. Let's watch it. Fine.
don't know, I'm living in the country every month, and I'm currently in Bangkok, and I'll probably be here for a couple more months. So it's like my first real day here with like a fixed sleep schedule. I haven't really seen much, and honestly, I don't really know what to do. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna let GeoGuessr decide my day. I got another GeoGuessr Pro, maybe to just make me a map of 5 locations. I'm just gonna play this map out, okay? I'm not gonna act like I'm some like Bangkok pro, okay? But basically every single location here is, oh my god, it's a dog. Okay, every single location here, I'm just gonna make a day around one of these 5 locations. So I'm gonna play the seed, and I'm gonna spin a wheel, and I'm gonna go to one of the 5 and just try and make a day out of it. and honestly just explore Thailand, because I think this is a fun way to see it, and it's using the game to its advantage. Okay, that one's pretty far for me, but like it's a doggy. Okay, so we're gonna make it there somehow. Okay, yeah, I'm literally just clicking center because I'm not gonna try and. Ooh, this is cool. It's like some park, or what is this? Okay, I'll find a park. Where's the park at? This is a park. That's a golf estate. Not going there. Ooh, fishing. We're at this. No, let's find an actual park. We're at Chuk Park. Nope. Certain. Okay, that looks really pretty, and I hope. Oh, dude, what the heck is this?
Airplane.
Dude, I want to go here. See, this is the beauty of GeoGuessr, bro. Oh, and they have pizza. They have pizza, dude. We're in. This is so cool, dude. Okay.
It looks like
I don't know what that is, to be honest. Okay, and maybe I can get my nails done on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 2 more, dude. Okay, this is sick. Where is this? Oh my god.
Wait, that is sick.
That's super far south too, but like, dude, that looks sick. I'll make it there somehow.
Go there.
And we have a market.
Yay!
Okay, so this is the order of the seeds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna spin the wheel, close this ad because no free promos, and we're gonna go to whatever number it says right here, right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I actually don't remember. 2, 3.
A vlog.
I don't even remember what that was. Okay, so 3. Oh, dude, we're going to the park. This airplane thingy, dude. I'm not gonna do any research at all. I'm just gonna go. If it's permanently closed, I don't care. We're gonna find a way, okay?
He doesn't care. He's gonna use nails done. He doesn't care. Yes,
right,
the Thai starts.
And this place is freaking sick. Dude, look at this.
That's not the dog.
There's like dogs everywhere.
Oh, there is.
It looks a little different than what it did prior. Like on Street View. Maybe I can take an updated photos here for the peeps. But this is like a pretty developed market. Bro, this is sick. I'll just shout out the weekend. I don't know if you guys heard the weekend playing, but this is a cool spot. I think what you're supposed to do, just a market. I'm just gonna walk around, just like do random things I see.
Vlogging.
Alright, I got some coins for like this claw machines. I'm gonna try and win something because it's just sick.
Yeah.
What should I win?
I don't know. The cats.
I'll go for one of these.
Oh. That was like the worst one.
The key is to always go for the one closest to the box. That's a dubs. That's a dubski. Give me it. Rigged. Actually rigged. What the heck? Actually rigged. I'm going again. This is dumb. Alright, give it to me. Show me the Carfax, baby. Show me the Carfax. Not gonna lie, that was kind of an L. Alright, this is rigged.
Almost there.
It doesn't have pressure yet. What else we got?
It was on the edge and he gave up.
It's way easier, bro. I fumbled over there. Alright, let me win one of these real quick. Rainbow throws up the haymaker.
Oh.
I rigged.
No,
I'm just bad. It's honestly just a skill issue. Maybe I get a keychain.
Not worth.
Oh, I just got scammed. Okay. Yeah, I just got scammed. Whoops. Alright, let me see if I don't get scammed in this one. There you go. No Shazam here. Alright, this should be a freebie, right? Like, this is what you play when like they feel bad for you. I can't even go that far. Okay. Dubs. That's actually rigged. Actually rigged. Well, I mean, this is location. I wonder if I can go up the slide. All these statues here are so cool too. Very, very neat. So back here, this is pretty cool. It's just like a bunch of like little markets. Nothing's open right now. What's back here?
On the weekends.
What the hell is this?
A skull.
Is this a skull? Me when you go to Australia on South Africa?
Wow. Yeah, sometimes I go to Australia.
Also, the taxi ride here
South
is like
Africa.
120 baht, which is like $3, I think. So it was like a 30-minute taxi. So that's kind of dubsky.
Should we play GeoGuessr?
I love trying new drinks in new countries.
I want to.
I don't know what this is. Like,
I want to go to Thailand. I want to leave this stupid country and try beverages. What the heck? In a vending machine. I want to go across the world.
It's a Fanta logo. All right. I mean, this is like a pretty cool thing for like. I mean, nothing's really open. It's cool to see. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get lunch here. I think. Maybe I'll get my nails done.
Ooh, yummy.
All right. I pretty much tried everything here. I even got my nails painted, which is quite new. I think my next goal is to find a park or something nearby where I can get like a good view of like downtown or like just explore a little bit more. So I'm gonna try and find a taxi or tuk-tuk or something and just go downtown or like a park that's quiet. That's my goal, is to find a quiet park with a good view.
Or the dog park.
Alright, so I found the park. It's like so beautiful here. Also getting taxis is like impossible. I feel so bad that I don't speak Thai. Like I feel like it's like disrespectful, like not to learn Thai while I'm here. Like at least basic knowledge. But just gonna explore this park a bit.
Well, then
Enjoy
learn
the
it.
Quietness.
That's kind of hard.
This is really cool.
To be fair, he's going to like a new country every month, so he's gonna learn like a bunch of different languages. That's kind of hard. IRL backpack world travel streams. Yeah, a lot of people with IRL backpacks do travel the world, but that's like if you want your IRL backpack to work in different countries, it's like almost double the price because you have to buy like international modems. So it's like maybe a little too expensive for me right now.
There's something just so peaceful about parks. I also need to get some water because I feel like it's getting way too hot. It's like 90 out or something. It's insanely hot. I'm just gonna walk around and find something to do, I think, because I'm like more downtown now, so it's like, I think more touristy, but probably more things I can just like pop in and do or something, but let's find out. A pink taxi, not in CDMX, but you also get these in Bangkok, so pink taxi, you should go Mexico City or Bangkok. I think my goal now is to find as many metas, or like Thailand metas as I can, and we'll call it there. If I can get to 5, I think I'll be pretty excited. 1, Thai pole. Can we find a Thai lamppost is the question though. Also, I'm not gonna count the taxi as a meta, because it doesn't feel right. It is a meta, but it's too niche. Also, like, flag doesn't count. We're looking for signs and things like that, so. This is 2. These are very common in Thailand. All right, I'm counting this as 3. We have the light post right there.
Yes, over the street, like how he says.
That one usually sticks out straight. I don't know why I can't find any right now, but quite interesting. That's 3 though. We're still taking 3.
He told me about that light post. I don't know what it means. What does he mean? It sticks out. I don't know. It looks like a normal light post to me. I don't know what makes that one so tight. I don't know. I don't know. Like most of the hints I get, but that just looks like a light post to me. I'm not gonna be able to identify that shit.
Okay, this is gonna be 4 too. I'm counting this. These green signs, usually they're bigger, but those are very common in Thai, and really only in Thailand. That's kind of a fake meta because those aren't the exact signs I'm looking for, but I feel like if you see those green signs with that's like language on it, usually, I mean, you're not gonna get those in Laos or Cambodia, so you can go Thailand, I guess, but I mean, that's kind of like 3.5, but like 4 if we're like counting a pity, you know?
A bunch of wires?
But
No, it's
we'll
not
you know?
that.
What I need
It's
to
the
do
way
right now, though,
it
is I just
sticks
need to find
out,
TikTok.
but I don't know how it sticks out.
I do not want my phone to die, and I don't know where to go, man. I don't know where to go. Let's find a tuk-tuk. Maybe I can find a meta on the way home. Wow, dude, Thailand is beautiful, dude. I love the city. I wasn't me saying Thailand's a city, by the way. I obviously know Bangkok.
He's
Okay,
a geoguesser pro. He knows his
yeah,
geography.
Beautiful city. So much culture. I just like walking around. I feel like I'm not very good at solo like vlogging. Like I don't really know what to do, guys. Like I'm trying, okay? I'm just kind of like walking around, like trying to find stuff that like might be interesting, but it's like what I find fun is just like walking around and seeing things, and just like embracing the culture and like the views and the people, which I feel like is maybe not the best content, you know? Maybe I'm just like brainwashed to think like breaking plates on the floor is like content, you know? But
That is content.
I'm trying, right? If you guys have any ideas of things I should do in Thailand, let me know.
Break some plates on the floor.
'Cause I'm down for whatever, honestly. I'm gonna
Break
get
some
Chiang Mai
plates on the
very,
floor.
very soon. And Phuket, obviously, I think those will be great for like scenic things, but
Get some plates
yeah, let
and
me know.
break them on the
I'm
floor.
trying. I really am. But yeah, this is my first time really doing this. I'm not
So
the
you
most
can get a
comfortable
plate
public recording person, but
and a
I think maybe
floor
it's
and
in
break
Asia,
it
it's
on
more
the
culturally
floor.
acceptable. So I'm working on it, but
You're
yeah,
doing great.
I'm trying, guys. I just want you guys to see how cool Bangkok is. That's really my goal. I don't really care if it gets 2 views or 2 million views. I shall share anyways. Last time I took a tuk-tuk yesterday to get my haircut, this is what happened. So
He's
hopefully
so wholesome.
This isn't, maybe I can tuk-tuk in peace today. We'll see. Not to be like IRL studying, but like, I wonder if these are the meta, like red postcode. Like, I wonder if other places in Thailand have like different colored post boxes. Like, is red Bangkok only? You know?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Why did he show the person?
I feel like if I see a red post box now in
Why did he
Thailand,
show
I'm
them?
going to instant
Was
see
he asking them?
Bangkok. It's probably other places as well, but that's fine. Oh my gosh, guys, it's a cat. Meow. I bet the cat speaks Thai. It probably doesn't speak English.
Tesla.
But it's cute. Hi, kitty.
Tesla just meowed.
This is post Trevor talking. I actually didn't end up finding any more metas on my phone because my phone died. But I think with the we had the tie strip poles in the beginning, we had the taxi, we had the light posts and the poles, and we had a double lane highway, which is a Bangkok meta, real and true. But yeah, that was my first day in Bangkok. And honestly, like I had a lot of fun. I don't know if it ever translates into these videos, but I'm trying my best. I'm new to this vlogging and like being in public and like
You're
very
doing
much
great
to do this, but I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying these, and I'm gonna do more of these. So if you guys have any ideas of things I can do or challenges or things that maybe you want to see, I'd be more than grateful to hear them.
I had no idea this name was Trevor.
Here that you guys enjoy and I can also enjoy.
Yeah, I just call him
so
Rainbow.
If you guys like this, let me know. If you guys didn't like it or like ways I can be better.
But I guess if I was like in public, I wouldn't say, "Oh, Rainbow, come over here."
So
I'd say Trevor.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
There's something about Lost
That's
Media.
That's the same with everyone, though. Like, anyone who has an online name, like 5UP, I cannot say I can call 5UP in person, but if he's like across the room or something,
Our interest. Maybe for you, it's the mystery behind it, finding importance in preserving media, or a simple curiosity. It could even be a faint memory of seeing it with your own eyes before it was lost and longing to see it again, especially if it was during childhood, as I think nostalgia...
Do you call them with their government names? Like IRL, like... No, I call Puns, Dream, Sapnap. I call them all by their online names. But if we're in public and I need to call them, I will say... I'm not gonna scream, "Oh, Dream!" I'm not gonna, okay. I'm not gonna scream, "Puns!" I'm gonna say, "Luke." You know what I mean?
Can play a big part in the appeal of it. It's fundamental to keep the Lost Media community fresh.
This is obscure media you should know about.
Give the lesser known examples some limelight. There's an ample amount of posts on r/Lost Media that either go completely unnoticed or the attention to them fizzles out quickly. Today we are going to be exploring that subreddit. We'll dive into some intriguing, bizarre, and perhaps even disturbing pieces of Lost Media. Let's get right into it.
James the Cat?
James the Cat episodes are hard to find online. The show was considered lost media as this was not released on DVD or on streaming services. Some episodes dubbed in Russian are found and resurfaced online. Some more episodes for the 1998/Series 2 revival are lost too. James the Cat was a children's show starting in 1984. The general aesthetic of it is absolutely adorable, and I actually watched reruns of the show as a child on PBS Sprout. Centered around an obese house cat accustomed to a life of indoor leisure and luxury, his wealthy owners move to a new house and accidentally leave him behind. He takes up residence in the vast garden where he befriends the wild animals who live there. It was later revived in 1998 as a second series from Milkshake, a British television program, and aired on Sprout in 2005 through 2006. My aunt literally handmade a James the Cat plush for me when I was a toddler, so it was great to come across this post and have Lost Media that I watched when I was little. The user Cravanax asked if OP had a list of the found episodes, but I don't believe there is a definite list. All we know is there were a total of 52 episodes. While no DVD release or complete archive exists, there were 2 VHS tapes released by Tempo Video in 1987, and 1 released by Screen Entertainment in 1988. Featuring 26 episodes in total between the 3. This leaves us with exactly half of the series found, if we could track down each tape. The only one documented as of today is the 1988 release James the Cat and Neighbors, thanks to user Epiternal. The other 2 tapes are currently nowhere to be found, but I did find proof that 1 copy each sold on eBay at some point. It's a matter of waiting. I think they are bound to turn up at some point, and I'd consider these partially lost. It still leaves us with 26 remaining episodes though, as the videos I found posted on YouTube are the ones from the VHS tapes. The show, surprisingly, doesn't even have its own Lost Media wiki article, but it without a doubt deserves one. I sincerely hope the search for James the Cat
makes it even
can
more
garner
lost
attention.
if it's not
It
on
is
the
such a
Lost
pleasant childhood memory
Media
of mine, and I'd love to
Wikipedia.
revisit it. May more episodes eventually be found. The sample from the final 5 minutes of Everywhere at the End of Time is from a record Leyland got from a record store. There is no more information on this I can find. The name of the record is unknown, and Kirby won't say. While basically the opposite of obscure itself, I rarely see any coverage of this lost sample, despite its extensive search. Everywhere at the End of Time is a series of 6 studio albums by the caretaker or Leyland Kirby that portrays the progression of Alzheimer's disease. Each album was released over 6-month periods to give a sense of time passing. I'm sure you've heard It's Just a Burning Memory. I'm probably playing it in the background right now. It's become a staple in liminal space videos, and it's a hauntingly beautiful piece. The album's gained major traction, and I'd say 2020.
Honestly,
each track...
This seems a little too scary. I'd rather watch, I don't know, it's just like kind of creepy. I want to watch 2023 fashion trends I love and hate now.
Hey, it's me Katie, welcome back to the Spotlight. I know groundbreaking stuff today. We are going to be discussing trends because apparently you are revoked as a fashion channel unless you talk about it these days, so here we are. Seemingly everyone wants to claim that they are some sort of trend forecaster on TikTok, but no, these are not predictions, much like a lot of them. These are just observations. I guess you could say you're predicting these current trends will continue to trend this year, but that's about it. I just have a long list in front of me filled with trends that I've been reported on or ones that I've been noticing pop up on social media a ton recently, and some of which I very much enjoy and will be partaking in. Others not so much aligning with my personal style, but I will be admiring from afar and leave them for those of you they resonate better with. I want to just jump right in there with a somewhat polarizing one from what I've been seeing, and that is the micro shorts, or in some instances literally just underpants / boxers as regular everyday wear. Obviously everyone went wild over the image of Bella Hadid with the platform Uggs, and initially everyone was really latching on to the footwear choice, but I feel like as time goes on, people are really starting to get on board with the underpants situation as well. This is the sort of thing that's always going to be either loved or hated. I remember a tiny Jewish girl styling her, I think it's Marc Jacobs micro mini shorts, probably like 2 years ago now, and even then there was such a big discourse on it. I think the way they're being consumed in a more mainstream sort of way, I guess, is to pair them with tight and opaque tie underneath. Having that much skin exposed isn't going to be the most comfortable thing for everyone, so I think the tights coming in strong with the assist here is definitely going to make it somewhat more wearable. Of course, tights aren't just restricted to this particular trend. Tights in general we've been seeing a lot of, I would go as far as to say since 2020, especially kicking off in 2021, which just goes to show as much as there is a dialogue on the trend cycles moving too fast, really a lot of trends are sticking around longer than you may think. And I know some people are going to be like, tights aren't a trend, which yes, true, the weather gets cooler, people break out their tights, but you can't deny that we've been seeing more and more people experiment with more playful tights, whether it is patterns, bold colors, or even just the type of outfit you're pairing them with as a serial or accessorizer. I love this one. I do still somewhat agree with the notion that everything is trending at once. On one hand, we just talked about a micro length, but also maxis are still going strong, obviously in skirt form we have been seeing for quite some time now, but also I'm seeing a lot of maxi length coats at the moment, and actually quite often seen paired with the micro shorts to kind of counterbalance that. Me personally, not seeing it around here. As I'm filming, it is currently 31 degrees Celsius. But with that being said, I am actually going on a cold weather trip very soon. Let me know if you have any guesses. So I am gonna have to up my outerwear game. When it comes to footwear trends, we are still seeing a lot of the ballet flats. Obviously, ballet core is still finding ways to reinvent itself and stick around. But also, as we kind of start to shift into a different segment of 2000s trends, I guess, like moving more so away from the Y2K flashy styles and something a little bit more reserved, we're seeing the return of the really pointed toe heels, most commonly in the form of a kitten heel, but also boots. If you know me, you probably already guessed this is one of the trends I'm going to be sitting out on. When it comes to footwear, I like them chunky. Honestly, the last time that I wore a ballet flat was probably when I was still working retail at Priceline and I had a uniform. As soon as I switched to a fashion retail job, I broke out the platforms and have never looked back. But I can't deny how good this can look, especially with like the mid-2000s corporate fashion girly sort of aesthetic. I don't know. One that I clearly am partaking in because I'm literally wearing it right now are 3D flowers. Personally, I like them best in the form of accessories. I think they're so cute, embellishing a little necktie. You could wear it as just a pendant necklace as well, similar to the 3D hearts that have been trending. You may have spotted it in my last video, the oversized flower scrunchie my mum made me, inspired by Sandy Liang. She is kind of like at the forefront of this trend, I feel like. If it wasn't already evident by my appearance today, I so badly wish I was one of those cool, effortless Sandy Liang girlies. I love it when there's a trend that gets me to try new things, but also utilize things that I've had in my wardrobe forever. This belt I have literally had, I think since I was in grade 7 or grade 8. So I've hung onto this for a very long time, and I think for good reason. Also, just along the same lines as that, I feel like there's a lot of very feminine sort of trends this season, which personally I love. Again, just aligns really well with my personal style. Some of the more major ones are ruffles, which is such a vague trend, but that's cool because people get to incorporate it in different ways. However, if you're like pinning it down to the more micro trend version, I think we're going to see a lot of these dresses with these kind of like, I don't know, these like frilly octopus sort of tentacles going on, which I guess ties into mermaid core as well. I'm not going to be talking about like popular core aesthetics because I want to save that for a separate video, but yes, this is very much falling into that. I swear just about every single TikTok talking about trends has mentioned sheer fabrics, specifically lace, which I do find interesting because to me lace is just timeless. I would wear that whenever without a second thought. So I guess maybe the idea is just that it's going to be even more popular than its usual baseline, which is still popular, if that makes sense. But I don't know, I feel like even if it's not specifically sheer and lace, but the overlining theme of like underwear is outerwear has literally been on trend reports for the last decade. When I first was really getting into fashion in 2013, during that real 90s revival, and they were referencing lace and slip dresses, and I've stuck with fashion ever since then, and honestly I don't think I've ever seen it go out, which is great because it means we can rewear what we've already got. Another one that kind of falls under that category of everyone's talking about it right now, but I feel like it is literally permanently in the trend report, is metallic / silver, which I find kind of funny because unlike lace, where I feel like I always gravitate towards it, metallics I'm always kind of like, oh, that again, like I don't know, it's not the most inspiring thing to me personally. Do I partake in it? Yes, I dabble in it here and there. I think personally I prefer it in the kind of like Y2K cyber retro future sort of element, which perhaps is how we're going to be seeing it styled most commonly this year. But I don't know, I feel like a lot of the time it's reported to be trendy just before the holiday season, so Christmas and New Year's Eve party dresses, and people will wear it once and then I'm seeing it in the op shop and I'm just like, not that into it. Something that I am really excited to see more of though is a lot of DIY and personalizing items, specifically bags. Please forgive me because I'm very much not a designer bag person, but I believe it was a Balenciaga bag of some sort. You guys know the one because literally every store did some form of dupe of it, but the main thing was like the heart mirror hanging off it. I don't know, I feel like people just became obsessed with things dangling off their bag, but I think it's even cooler to be able to do it yourself and really put your own personal touch on it. I feel like I always say this, but for me, accessories can really be the defining point of your personal style because it's the sort of thing that you can put on with every single outfit and then people are like, oh yes, that is a Katie look. So going to the effort to even decorate and personalize your bag is like the extra step on top of that. It's very much giving it girl, very Jane Birkin. And decorating in general, I find somewhat therapeutic. I recently decorated my headphones, but even just doing my K-pop photo cards. I didn't actually have this one written down because I haven't seen as many people talking about it, but maybe it's because it's just like a no-brainer, but skinny scarves, I feel like that is just the natural cycle progression since ties have been so popular.
I used to wear these when I was a little kid. And I'm embarrassed of it. I think they look terrible. I think I thought I was a little fashionista going to school with my sequined turquoise mini scarf, and I was not. It was not cute.
Last couple of years, I proudly already had my participation award from last time this trend rolled around, and I am still here loving it. This one I was kind of like, ugh, will I mention it or not? But it is lots of pockets, which to me is kind of just cargos repackaged to try and get you to buy something new, but no. You can still just buy the cargos. If you think they're cute, keep rocking them. And technically, yes, this is probably another one where cargos is kind of the base trend, and then the natural progression is just seeing pockets in new, reimagined ways. As much as I liked cargos, maybe I'll leave that for the girlies who have like the post-apocalyptic sort of style, but for me, I might be sitting it out. Well, this one surprisingly caught me kind of off guard. I don't really know why, because again, it's one that's more of a natural progression. We've been seeing a lot of knitting and crocheting ever since the first wave of lockdown. People picked it up as a hobby. But once I saw someone mention mohair specifically, I was like, oh, I mean, I've always been into it, but now that you mention it, I feel like I have seen it more frequently recently, I guess just adding even more texture to the look. I actually even made a purchase before I even registered that this was a trend, so I feel like I was subconsciously being influenced, which it kind of scares me in a way. I think we can probably combine these under the term of like angles. I don't know, we're seeing a lot of asymmetry and also a lot of off the shoulder. I'm Death the Kid's worst nightmare. I love me some asymmetry. It can just instantly add so much more interest to your look, and it's so easy to recreate as well. Like literally not even a permanent DIY. You can just put on a skirt, kind of gather it up on one side, pin it in place, and you are good to go. And again, these really broad, vague trends are my favorite because it's just fun to see what people will come up with. If you're someone who finds yourself enjoying the idea of trends but might be a little bit worried that you're gonna partake in a micro trend, I feel like the rule of thumb is just the broader the trend, the better. Which I mean is probably obvious, but I don't know, maybe a good reminder. Off the shoulder is another one we're seeing, which again is one that was I feel like popular the last time around. Skinny scarves were in trend as well, so I could see them being paired together quite commonly. I'm always kind of 50-50 on it though, just because I feel like I have broad shoulders, but also like I roll in and slouch a lot. I have such bad posture, so I just don't know if it's the most, I don't want to say flattering, I'm trying to not use that word anymore, but I don't know if I feel good in it, I guess. A top I have that kind of gets around that though is one that is off the shoulder but also has this little halter tie-up detail which kind of cuts it off, which I really like. But otherwise I think I just prefer pieces that slouch off one shoulder rather than both, which I think is kind of trendy as well. There's still so many trends I haven't covered. Like we mentioned, everything's trendy, so how are you going to squeeze it all into one video? Plus some of them just feel a little bit repetitive, like I've been talking about them for a long time. For example, skirt over pants. But let me know if you want part 2. I'm already planning on doing another video where I'm actually styling my favorite trends, and also like I mentioned, trying the trendy aesthetics of the moment. One that I really want some help with though is what trends you want to see make a comeback. So let me know in the comments and hopefully I can feature them next time around. Thank you guys so much for watching, and just quickly before we go, I want to say take all of this with a grain of salt. Trendy, not trendy, who cares? Wear whatever you want, and hopefully I'll see you really soon. Yeah, I will. Bye! You can't stop me.
Bye. I don't know. I don't know if I like a lot of that. I feel like whenever something trends in like the fashion scene, they go a little too crazy with it. You know what I mean? Like they try to be a little, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's so dramatic. I like a little bit. I think, I like, doing the most. Yeah, sometimes you don't need to and it looks better. I like the leg warmers. Okay, I think I'm gonna end now. Pushing boundaries? Yeah, I guess. No. Oh. You guys are so used to the 9-hour streams that like a 3.5-hour stream is too short for you? It's 3 a.m. chat. Don't be sad. Oh no, guys, don't cry. Oh no, what have I done? Too short? I know it is really short. I went live too late. We'll have to go live earlier next time. But I'll probably try to stream more towards the beginning of this week. I don't know if I'll have time to stream towards the end of the week. But we'll see. And then maybe soon I can get an in real life backpack. Ah, yay. Okay. Thank you everyone for watching. I'm just gonna end now. And you guys can scatter. Bye, I hope you enjoyed. Bye. Farewell. I'll give it time. Can everyone do like a little wave in chat or something? If there's like an emote. I don't know. Or just say bye. So I know. Yeah, there you go. Bye, everyone. Okay, I'm ending. Right about now. Okay, bye!